like their email service or whatever. We'll read the keywords, and then you'll get a generic email that's gets sent back to you. Hey, we're getting a large volume of applications, so the wait time for the getting approved for these applications can be 4 to 6 months. I emailed them, and this is the first time I emailed them was like maybe like in November, after I applied, and I emailed them again like in January, and I got like another same generated email, but now it said the wait time is like anywhere from this was a ridiculous range. It said anywhere from 4 to 18 months or something like that. I was like, what? What kind of range is that?
That bit is like that bit is like the range of time is between 4 months and life expectancy for a black male in America. So
so
40 years, 45 years.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Bro, I was like, this can't be life.
You shouldn't even have that in the algorithm, dog. Don't tell nobody that. Don't tell nobody that. Just send somebody to be like, this site is still under construction. That's what you said. I'd rather get that than fucking what?
What range is that? Like,
Darwin, what are you doing here?
It's challenge day.
All right, welcome back, challengers. This is season 2, episode 6 of Challenge Day.
Hello.
I'm your boy, John.
Hi, friends.
This is how we're gonna start on my show back.
No, professional.
All right, yeah, this is what we gotta do now. Okay. Well, this is season 2, episode 6 of Challenge Day. I guess that's probably a foreshadowing of how this.
Welcome back, you lazy bastard. I mean, I had to hold this thing down myself.
I don't know about by yourself.
By my damn self.
We definitely saw Jamari on the last joint, but which is what we're gonna get into.
For sure. Shout out to Jamari. Good looking out. Yeah, showing up for the episode, the side quest, we'll call it. I was telling him that we're gonna figure out a name to call. We'll do some spin-offs like that. But
yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. Like calling the side quest is actually, I thought it was spot on when I was checking the footage, and I was like, okay, that's kind of spot on actually. That's kind of dope.
Cool. So glad you like it. Made an executive decision there. Like I said, I was by myself, so
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, anyways, so we got a couple things lined up for you guys on today's show. Of course, you want to check us out on our social media handles at Under the Challenge Day. That's all the platforms that you guys like to frequent. You know what those are. So do your thing and give us a shout, give us a follow, leave a message. Hit us up, holla at us. We'd love to hear from you. So with that being said, let's get into the show, bro. Let's get into the mass shooting count. What you got going on?
So last time when you left, your theory of the case was that,
oh my God,
hey,
here we go.
Maybe they ain't gonna change by the time I get back. Jeff would go, that would have been weird if it didn't change. Because
don't even
somebody get that guy. Somebody get that. Hold up. One dude leaves the country. All of a sudden, we ain't got no more mass shootings. Not to say that you was committing any of them, but I'm just saying, you out the country and we stop having mass shootings. You might need to deport this Haitian.
If the feds are listening, listen, don't put me on a no-fly list. I have nothing to do with what's going on in America.
We're trying to move about, free to move about the country. Nah, we got to get you out of here, bro. Hey, it's for the good of the country. We're trying to save lives here.
Okay. All right. All right.
But no, turns out you're safe. You can stay because now the mass shooting count is up to 288. So last time there was 232.
That's wild.
Another day in America. We need to do some banners, some congratulations thing. We need to workshop this. Congratulations, America. You played yourself, right? Just some shit like that for real.
It's just on the screen, some graphic or something, yeah.
This is breaking records every month and all that kind of shit. Okay, so them's the numbers. It's a sad fucking case. We laugh because otherwise we would be here crying all day long.
Once again, can you just remind the folks on what actually constitutes a mass shooting? What's required of it?
Okay. Well, bro, I'm glad you asked because the FBI has not set a minimum number of casualties to qualify an event as a mass shooting, but generally it's defined. So the uh, the Gun Violence Archive, well, the Violent Crimes Act, uh, which is how the Gun Violence Archive kind of the metrics that they use to it is from this act, which is defines it as 3 or more killings in a single incident. Okay. And so they'll consider, and that would exclude gang violence. But I think we talked about that last time. They have other numbers. They keep track of that. It's not that they don't keep track of that. Yeah, it's important. But in terms of this specific kind of metric that we have to keep it as uniform as we can to keep the numbers consistent, so we can know that these numbers are real and they're not like spiking because of other reasons. So right now we're at 288 of situations and incidents where 3 or more have died. I think it used to be something like 3 dead and the perpetrator. Yeah, which would make it four deaths. So they just stopped counting the perpetrator and all that because fuck them, generally, I guess. But and sometimes they live and they get arrested, which is
right. Weird. That too.
Just freaking weird. Niggas can't get pulled over for having a freaking fuzzy dice hanging off the side of the rearview mirror and get killed. But niggas with mass shooting, that do mass shootings, is like they stop them off at Taco Bell before they get to the jailhouse.
Give them Happy Meal.
Happy Meal real quick and freaking put them up some cushy stays, some cushy accommodations. But anyways, that's the count there. For just off the top, we also have throwing back to some stuff that was went on before we got here today on the mic. Number one, we mentioned off the top the Challenge Day side quest. There is the origins of the show, of our show, actually kind of started in a format kind of like that in terms of the idea, conceptualizing it.
Okay.
It was supposed, and we will be getting there, and so it's good for the audience to get a little bit taste of what that is like. And it's the space for interviews. To do interviews and to and particularly, I find it fascinating to be able to interview my friends and family, and people that are like, close to me and telling their story, because I think they all have interesting stories. You just got to be able to like just pull it out of them, And some people, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say what's interesting about that is these are people that in your mind you think that until you actually interview them. So you realize that, I didn't know you as well as I thought I knew you.
Yeah, and it's going to be, what I was going to add is that it's up to the individual, how much they want to let you pry, how much they divulge, how much they're willing to be honest, you know what I mean? Be like, because the concept that I kind of want to get some people to commit to before they do something like this is that you get to own. Let's say you own this recording, right? And this can be like, bro, I wish I had a videotape of my mom or dad just talking about a good freaking 45-minute, hour-long conversation about some deep, meaningful stuff in their past or how they view the world, and we had VHS and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people did do home movies and stuff back in the day, but we weren't one of them. We couldn't afford no goddamn camcorders and shit and fucking tapes and all that kind of stuff. We freaking using our old cassette tapes to record over them to get another recording or another song on there versus buying another cassette tape because you can't afford shit like that. Anyways, it'll be dope to flex that muscle, especially it helps us get better at interviews, and it would be kind of like a 2-on-1 interview thing. So just want to put a little flag in that, something to look forward to in the future, maybe next season. We can lean into that more and get into our interview bag. I think it turned out really great with Jamari. Again, appreciate him kind of last minute showing up for that in your absence. And speaking of your absence, is because you was at the country. In Zanzibar. Zanzibar, right?
Zanzibar, yep.
So you were there for a good chunk of time. Back to the motherland area. I mean, how'd it go? How was everything?
Yeah, I definitely wish I would have stayed. When I was there, I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, I wish I would have been able to stay here a bit longer. I should have booked a longer period of time there.
Wow, you stayed there for a while though.
It didn't feel long enough.
Wow.
Because, and this is the reason why I say that. Just
Is it
getting
the
there,
jet lag?
the jet lag, but it's like, but just getting there because you're going to to the other side of the planet, pretty much.
Yeah.
You're going from the west to the east. So, just getting there took 20 hours, and getting back here to the states took 24 hours because there was a couple of stops. Um, but that's like really almost 2 days of travel because of obviously the time that the plane takes off and the time that it lands. So it kind of like it fuses 2 days into like this weird
1 day
kind of thing that you're experiencing, right?
And then depending on what time it is that you land over there, it could be like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So it's like you lost that whole day.
Absolutely. And you're transitioning from one time zone to another time zone. So but your body doesn't know. You know what I'm saying? So like you'll leave at 7 o'clock in the morning and you'll be flying for like 13 hours and it's like 7 o'clock over there in the morning over there. And you're like, that just passed through a vortex or something? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's really like time zones in the world is crazy. That's a whole nother time. It's really crazy. It's really crazy.
Yeah.
But
and the thing is, it's actually pretty arbitrary because
I've heard that too. It is
pretty arbitrary. I mean, if we had like a global time zone, right? You could have a global time. So like let's say we use military time, right? And we just say, oh, it's instead of being it's 3 o'clock in London, whatever. In London, it's actually what is that? What are they like 4 or 5 hours ahead? I don't know, something like that. I think they might be 3 or 4 hours ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like it's 6 hours. It's 6 o'clock over there. So just say it's 6 o'clock in London.
Yeah.
No. Oh no, it's 3 o'clock. Hold on, how would that go? Wouldn't that be that's the 3 hours? No, I wouldn't know. You wouldn't in order to do time check. If we all say it's 3 o'clock, if it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, okay, this is what I meant to say. All right, I got this. Okay. I got it. All right, bear with me.
Okay.
All right, don't edit this out. All right,
I got you.
It should be 3 o'clock everywhere all at once. But what that means then is for you, your 3 o'clock PM, there ain't no sun out. Ain't no sun. It's the middle of the night. But you're just calling it 3 p.m. We're just arbitrarily calling PM and AM. It's 3 p.m. still for you, but it's you just know that where you're at, your 3 p.m. is at night. That just is at night. That's just the way it works. Just the way life is like that. You know what I mean? Over generations, we would have gotten used to that. And not to say we could change anything now, but if we started off there, it could have just been 1 clock or just like one agreed upon. I mean, we agreed upon all this other bullshit. You know what I mean? We still have some issue with the metric system, you know, or not.
Yeah,
you know
that's a whole other thing.
You know, that kind of thing. We still, but like for the most part, we've gotten the globe on the same page on a couple of things, you know, particularly, like I said, this time zone thing, right?
Yeah.
Where everybody is like, okay, we're going to agree to these. I'm at this time, and we're going to do these hours and whatever. But science had a lot to do with that too. But really what we're trying to do is measure sunlight. Yeah. How much sunlight is out there.
Yeah. And that's all it is. And that's what it comes down to. That's where you start to realize that it really is just about sunlight. I mean, because the way that they were able to tell time before was through the sundial, right? So it's really all about how much sunlight is actually available, how long it lasts, and where it's rising, where it's setting.
Yeah, that's all. But I got you off on a crazy tangent.
Yeah.
You're talking about
that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing. But as far as like just getting there, the jet lag is crazy because I was like 7 hours ahead. So the jet lag is wild. Like I'm still, even now, my body is like still kind of catching up. Like it's at the end of it where like it's starting to like calibrate. But like, because I was like really tired before this recording, and I was like, man, I'm still tired. Like this is crazy. And I took that melatonin thing that you mentioned before, so I was like, that kind of helped speed it up a little bit because it forced me to go to sleep and like lay down and get myself together.
Well, I wanna
what?
Do your research on this, but I kind of want to put this out because I want to kind of like put a nugget for the listeners in this and that. Melatonin doesn't actually help you fall asleep. It doesn't do anything for your sleep, but it does something where it helps you acclimate from the effects of jet lag. I don't know exactly how that works. It does something, but it's not melatonin. Like if I take melatonin right now, right? I haven't gone anywhere. If I take melatonin now, it doesn't really do anything for sleep. You know, the thing that does the best for sleep is darkness. That's the best. You know, what I mean, other than these like, you know, ambient, those medications. You know what I mean? Like it's really that. So like melatonin isn't really a sleep medication, but we've all been used to calling it some kind of sleep aid, kind of sleep. And some people are gonna look it up. You're not gonna believe me. Don't believe me. But once you're going to look it up, you'll be like, dang, that nigga was right. So okay.
So the interesting thing about that in particular is I've always looked at it as not necessarily something that helped me to go to sleep, but something that helped me to stay asleep. Right. So that's kind of how I always kind of viewed it. So what you just mentioned is
but if it's been working for you that way, you know, I mean, there's also this placebo effect, you know. So it could be.
That's what I'm saying. I can't really say if it has or not. It might be more of a placebo effect kind of thing, right? So I don't know, but
yeah.
I felt like personally, since I've been taking it here every now and then, like I kind of feel like my sleep quality has been a little bit better. But it could be all in my head. So
you over the jet lag now?
So I'm pretty much over the jet lag now. I'm pretty much over the jet lag now. I should be good by the morning. Well, I need to be good by the morning because I got to go to work. So it is what it is. But
that time. Back
to
reality.
So you feel me? That's just the reality of it, right? So like, I was 7 hours ahead, and I just love the experience there. This was a country that is like 99% Muslim. Like this is a Muslim country, like top to bottom. You know what I'm saying? Super black. Like you remember?
You see any white people over there?
Of course, of course. But it was Europeans. It was Europeans. Like every white person saw there, English wasn't their first language. It just wasn't. Like it was interesting because every single white person that was there, you can tell like, okay, this person is. Okay, that sounds like a German accent. I heard German. I heard Russian. I heard.
You ain't mean no white locals?
No, no. You think there might be?
That's kind of wild, right? To think about a place that doesn't have like white locals. Like, well, I'm sure they are. You know, they're around and stuff like that.
They're around because I did see one, but I'm not sure if they were like. I don't think they were native to. I don't think they were native to Zanzibar, but they did travel there. It was this white European woman with this black guy. They didn't speak English though. It sounded like he was actually Tanzanian. In Tanzania, the national language is Swahili. They speak Swahili there.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting when I saw that. I thought, okay, but it's a black nation though. Like it's black, like black for real.
It's so crazy. Like it's just so interesting and wild to think about, like living in a place like Haiti, for example. You know what I mean? Or Zanzibar, where it's like you're not the minority.
You're not. That's crazy, right?
Skin is black.
That's crazy, right? Yeah.
It might be a caste system. It might be
absolutely.
You know what I mean, a hierarchy and all that kind of stuff. But like in terms of like your skin color, you know, it doesn't make you a minority. Like we're all black.
Yeah.
You know,
but definitely, we still stood out. Like me and a couple of my friends were with me. We still stood out. Yeah, they were like, because just based on just our, and it's not like any of us were wearing anything fancy or anything like that. I told you I was just in regular shorts.
You were not that thing with your American flag, brother. You didn't have your American flag on, brother.
Not at all. But it was just something about us that I guess stood out. That I was like, that didn't really dawn on me until one of my guys, he mentioned it. He was like, our clothes looked newer. It looked newer than what they wore. And I was like, that's interesting. Because I didn't think that was the case. Like, I thought what I was wearing was like super basic, because it was. Because I was just wearing a tee and some regular shorts. Nothing crazy. Majority of the time I was wearing sandals. I wasn't even wearing shoes. I didn't wear shoes not a single day there.
That's
not a single day,
life, right?
It was just.
I mean, I can't do that because I need my arch support, but I feel the vibes.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it was. It was just sandals and Crocs, right? Like, but it was something about us, I guess, that just stood out, right? And obviously, you know, once they hear us talk, they're like, okay, well, they're not.
Okay, yeah, obviously.
So I can see that. So
what was what was before you got there, right? You know how you do your research on these kind of places, right? And they say this is the. You have to, if you go here, there's at least one stop you have to make. You have to stop. Did you And sometimes they give you a list of like 4 or 5 things. Did you get to do anything like that? That was like, man, we have to, you know what I mean? Like, for example, when people go to Tulum, right, they got to go to that place where you lift the weights with all the natural stuff, with the stones and the wood. You know what I mean? That you got. So, like, is there anything like that in Zanzibar that you were hearing about that you were looking forward to that you got to do?
I would say one of the things was the let me see. I mean, Stone Town is definitely a place that everybody says to go to. That's one of the that's like the popping place in Zanzibar. Stone Town, where all the tourists go to, and it just has like a bunch of like nice hotels, ferries. It's huge markets. It's a lot of activity there. Stone Town is a very popular place. It's a lot of activity. But I would say one of the places that you should, like, if a person goes to Zanzibar, they're like, hey, you definitely want to check this place out. Is there's a place called Nungwi Beach where you can like get on horses and ride through the water and go on the sand and all that stuff. You can do a bit of snorkeling there.
I saw a video of you snorkeling.
Yeah. So you do a bit of snorkeling there. There's another. They have like a bunch of islands that are like off its own. Zanzibar is such a wild place because it's a huge island. It's a part of Tanzanians. You know, it's Tanzania, but it's an island off the coast of Tanzania's east coast.
Yeah, kind of like the way Key West in Florida.
Exactly. It's basically so Zanzibar is basically a archipelago. That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's what it is. So
archipelago.
Archipelago. I never know how to pronounce that thing. Every time I see that word, I'm like, I never know how to pronounce it. But you get what I'm saying. But so they have.
What did you say? Archipelago?
No, I said archipelago. I was like, I don't know how to pronounce, bro.
Okay, that archipelago. So hey, what is archipelago,
bro?
Archipelago.
I was like, I thought about Mar-a-Lago. I thought about Mar-a-Lago, and I was like, close enough.
Archipelago. Okay, so here you go. Archipelago is it's a mix of archaeology and vitiligo, right? so what we're talking about,
absolutely,
over time, the bleaching that happens with the fossils, you know, because of time, you know what I mean? It's like it has vitiligo. Right? Yeah. Archipelago.
Yeah.
Okay, archipelago. Okay, one of us.
Yeah, there's a few words like I can read very well, but there's like few words in English that just
you know what fucking me up. You know what be fucking me up sometimes, dog. No, straight up. I be seeing some. I be using words, right, in everyday language I've used for years.
Yeah,
but I ain't never come across it in print until that one day. Until that one day, I'm like,
big fact.
Archipelago.
Yo, that's so crazy. It really
be happening like that.
It really be like
that. I'm like, that word. I use that word all the time.
All the time, bro.
All
the time.
All right, so you got the. Go ahead.
Another word that's like that for me is like charcuterie.
Charcuterie. Oh boy, don't get us. Don't you know that's a trigger for me. You know that's a trigger for me. Don't. We're not going to talk about charcuterie right now on the mic. That's enough. We'll talk about it on another episode. Maybe that'd be one of my challenges. Trying to get over that moment. And we will never forget. It will not be spoken.
Yeah. That was a weird moment. So with Zanzibar, so as far as I answer your question, there are like beaches you can go to. I think there's one that's called Nakupinga Beach or something like that, where it's like it's basically like a disappearing sand pit, right? It's a massive sand pit.
Sand pit or sandbar?
What do they call it? They kept calling it sand pit, but I would venture to say that it's actually sandbar is what it is.
So like the ocean recedes a little bit and you can walk out into the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
And then like overnight the high tide comes in and you can't
it just swallows it disappears. All of it disappears.
Yeah. Moses. Oh, sorry.
Wow. I've never experienced something like that before. I was like, yo, that's so crazy. Like it's a natural phenomenon.
Reason why traveling is freaking like important.
Yeah. That's why I always encourage people to absolutely go see the world, because there are natural phenomenons that you'd be shocked that actually happens. You know what I'm saying? Like what? Like another thing, for example, like the tide is the way that the tide behaves in Zanzibar, like off the coast of Zanzibar, is it's egregious. Like there are places where like kids, like you probably seen like on IG where you see like kids jumping off of like these cliffs to go into the water. I'm not sure if you've seen it. That same area, because that same area was a stone town. So I walked by that same area, all rocks. It was all rocks. Just you get there at a certain time of night, it's all rocks. There's no water there at all. The tide is like 2 miles, 2 miles out. But in the morning, it's 10 feet deep. Yeah. It's 10 feet deep. It's the wildest, bro. It's the wildest thing I ever seen, bro.
You learn that from experience as a country. Yeah. You know what I mean? If that's your coastline. Yeah. You're like, what the fuck? Just you wake up.
Yeah, for real.
Like at night, just like having your tea, and you're like, I thought they had beachfront property.
Crazy, bro. You could have your boat. Say you had your boat. Say you were on a boat.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
There. And say your boat was anchored, and like you just fell asleep, and you woke up in the morning. You're stranded. You're stranded. Literally, like I got pictures of like a bunch of boats just like they just sit on the sand because they just have to wait until this tide come back so the boat can go back.
Oh, so but those are like small boats or something like that?
Yeah, like small fishing boats. Okay, like it's a thing that they do because what they do is like they'll make sure they go by the coast. So like when the tide does recede, they can like work on the boat. They can repair any damage or whatever. It's a part of life. You know what I'm saying? But it's so crazy to see that because it's like, yo, this is wild, bro. Like the tide is insane, man, insane. So there's quite a few places you can go to experience that. But that right there was pretty dope too. Like, cause literally, when we went to that, because it's even though it's a sandbar, they still call it Nakopinga Beach. So we went there. We chilled, had a fun time. Had some seafood grilled there. They're like literally fish that they caught right there. That they were able to grill right there. They made it on fire and everything. And I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, these people got to work for everything, even to make fire, even to make fire. Like
but that's part of the experience for the tourists that are there.
Oh, absolutely.
Doing it like, you know, I mean, real time and all that stuff. You know, one thing that people always say, and I get it. You know, it's like, okay, so they always say that when they go to some places, foreign places, like, oh, the people there are so nice, right? They're so good. They treat you so great, right? And like, because you're the first thing that comes to mind, I'm like, bro, you're paying to stay there at that spot.
Big facts.
And everything. So that's not the question I want to ask you. Well, I mean, this is a question I want to ask you, but I want to provide that insight into how that's not a completely thorough question or answer when people ask it. So what I'm asking you is, when I say, how was the people there for you? Like, did you have interactions with like somebody that you wasn't paying for something? Somebody that was just like chilling, doing whatever, or at a bar, like you're at a bar or at a restaurant or something like that, that just like, you know, but that they were from there. Did you have any kind of interactions with them? Like actual locals that like you wasn't, you know, paying for a taxi or paying for a tour guide or something like that?
I'm wondering. Honestly, when you put it that way, when I think about it, not necessarily, unless it was like just walking by, like just saying hi or something like that, or if they're, you know, if they're just walking by and they're just kind of they can tell that we're tourists, so they're saying like, you know, welcome to Zanzibar. We hope you have a good time. Hope you enjoy. Like if it's small talk like that, but like not someone who was like just chilling on the stoop and who's just like kicking it and having a conversation. Like I don't recall there ever being
an opportunity for that.
Yeah, like it wasn't necessarily an opportunity for that. Actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So which kind of makes me wonder, like, man, like the time must have just flew by, because like I don't think it was ever even really a time to ever do that, because all the conversations that we were having were like with people that we were dealing with as far as like paying for the
it's your waiter, with your bartender, or if it's like the bellman.
That's about it. And even like the folks, like the place that we were staying at, there was like a house manager that we'll talk to her about a couple of things, but it was just mostly about just to stay there and what's around and all that stuff. So
you know, it's a tough question, you know what I mean? Because if you're not specifically going there to interact with like everything local, you're trying to get off the grid, you're trying to get, like, sometimes people go places, you know, and be like, yo, where do the locals party at? Or what's the restaurant that you go to, you know, versus like, which I send all the tourists to. Like, no, I like spice. I don't need nothing watered down. You know what I mean? I don't mind if there ain't no air conditioning that bit. If there's a fan, you know what I mean? And like, that's why I got to deal with, you know, don't send me to no freaking marble floors place. You know what I'm talking about? And that's the local vibes.
No. That's definitely something that I actually wanted to do, which is why I said that I wish I had more time that I stayed there, because there was a period of time where I was like, I really wanted to like kind of like just go out into like where the locals really be at for like the marketplaces, really get to chop it up and talk to folks, and even go out to like some of the countryside, and they have like a bunch of people just doing a bunch of stuff on the side of the road, whether that's like schools or where you see people there like cleaning and washing clothes, farming, harvesting, doing a bunch of different stuff. I mean, things that
like people just living life.
Yeah, people just really just living life for real. You know what I'm saying? Like not really stressing about anything. Just like these are folks who wake up every day, every morning. They work, they
work hard.
They work hard and they go back to sleep, and that's just life. You know what I'm saying? Like
but that's the same thing we do here, except for us it looks fancy because there's like suits and ties and all that kind of bullshit. When all we're doing is everybody just working, you know what I mean? Trying to make an honest living, trying to provide for their family and loved ones. But that's dope. I'm glad you had a chance to take that trip. I definitely want to do something like that someday soon. You know, we don't currently have plans for Africa in our near-term future, but it's definitely on the list. You know what I'm saying?
No, I just wanted to mention that point that you just mentioned there, is that I'm glad that it was the motherland for sure. Like I wanted to go to Africa for a long time, and I finally had the opportunity to go. And I did enjoy seeing like just melanin, a lot of melanin. You know what I'm saying? Like
melanin overload.
You know what I'm saying? Like I really enjoyed seeing like a lot of Black folks, and it was just kind of like, and as you know, as we were traveling and going to different places, I remember just thinking to myself, I'm like, bro, there's so much potential even in a place like this, where these people are thriving in what they're able to do, right? Whatever resource they have or whatever. And I'm like, Black people are just extremely resilient, man. they're just resilient. Black people
if nothing else.
Yeah.
If nothing else.
For real, man. And that's just what it is, man. Like one time we were driving down the road and there was a palm tree that fell down on the road and it blocked off the whole road. And the guy looked at it, was like, we were kind of like, we needed to go down the road. Like we couldn't go down near the road. So we kind of just pulled up and we were just kind of looking. And the guy was like, hold on. Disappeared, came around the back, has a machete. Started cutting the palm tree. Cut it, and then he split it, he threw it to the side, the car just drove right through. And I'm like, if this was America, we had to call a utility company. Utility company has to call a contractor.
They had to come do an inspection on that tree, make sure if there was any kind of like virus on the tree, like some kind of thing going around with the tree. We have to get the freaking had to get the police a freaking cone off all the different areas and that. Yep. They got to get a test, an eyewitness testimony from you.
Interview the local patriots.
You know what I mean? Like, bro, it's a lot over here. Just some bullshit like that, nigga. Yeah. And who has a machete in their fucking trunk, bro? If you got to run around America with a machete in your trunk,
you're gonna be looking crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
You're gonna be looking kind of crazy. No, don't worry, guys. I got it. Just over here, you know what it would be. They go to the trunk and pull out that AR-15, right? And they just shoot that tree. Fucking tree! How dare you? You have to do the yelling part. So that's what helps it. That's what helps it cut through the tree. God damn it! You know, just fucking shoot the tree up and get him out the fucking way. That shit.
It's just so funny because it's like simple stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That I think America is so extra about that they just get it done, get out of the way, man. Let's just go on the rest of our day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, it's some of the simple things that you're reminded about, some of the simple pleasures and just the simple things in life that I think sometimes, man, we just take ourselves too seriously in the States. And these people just out here, they're just working, man. They're just working, getting it done.
Making it happen.
Just making it happen, you know what I'm saying?
By any means necessary.
Yeah. And that's all it is, man. And it just gives you perspective. But it also gives you perspective on the luxuries that we have here in the US as well. That's what it gives perspective on too. It's just like we do have some legitimate luxuries here in the US that we definitely take advantage of. So,
and at the same time, bro, it's just because we got used to this.
That's true. That's
so if you grew up there, you know what I mean, and just like that was your existence, you know what I mean, them niggas ain't missing nothing out by not having Instagram. They not missing out.
They not.
Trust me, they doing better.
They not.
By not having fucking TikTok.
For sure.
All right, this like a lot of this, but like some. Anyways, we can go off on that for a minute, but that's dope. I'm glad that you you're able to pull those lessons out of an adventure like that.
Oh yeah,
you know,
sure.
and here's to, more adventures in the future.
Absolutely.
And to resilience.
Yes.
The black folks are resilient.
Yeah.
There's a group of black folks that I'm gonna need to see some resiliency. I'm gonna need to see some resiliency.
Oh no, it might be over.
About this time tomorrow.
It might be over, right?
Because we've been doing a lot of talk about culture.
I don't know.
And in this particular culture, we're talking about heat culture.
Lil Wayne said it best the other day. He was like, "Man, I ain't never seen nothing like that before." Joke ain't no joker. Joker ain't no joke, ain't he? Bruh.
How you got two cats drop 30-point triple doubles?
Yeah.
In the finals.
Yeah, that's the y'all got one job, man. Stop those two guys.
Hey.
Don't worry about nobody else. Stop those two guys.
I say this every time. And I'm gonna couch it again. So can't nobody accuse me of freaking just like giving up hope. I never really had that much hope. And I'm saying we are playing with house money this whole time. You see what we did to the Bucks, and what we did to the Knicks. What we did to Boston was disgusting. It was really kind of a sweep. You know what I mean? They took their foot off the gas, whatever the fuck happened. That was a weird series. But 3-0.
7 games. Legitimate 7 games.
Okay, but the 8 seed, you were down 3. You were down 0-3 to the 8 seed. All right, whatever. You got your coach was about to be fucking fired. Absolutely. If he not lost that war, he was about to be fucked. Anyways, we got the Milwaukee coach fired.
For sure.
But it's Denver is they okay, so we have culture. This is the speech that I think what's the Denver coach again? Damn, was it Malone? I don't remember this dude.
Mike
Malone. Here's the speech I would give, as in like if I was the PR team, right? Because you can't say too much crazy shit as a coach, whatever. Right? But this is the speech I would give. Is that we're up 3-1 because we're the better team. Now, I know y'all gonna cut off my quote and not attribute the rest of what I said, but here's the rest of that full statement. That is a damn good team over here. Y'all see what they're doing? Do y'all see this shit? They're the A seed. They barely made the play. Matter of fact, they lost the first.
I don't think anybody is discounting.
But this is no. It's a different kind of conversation that's going to be happening here.
I mean, the Nuggets is overpowered, but I mean,
but he's never going to say this.
He's a good team.
He's not going to say this. He's saying he's going to say that is a damn good team there. Yeah, he'll say that part. These are all about you. Did you miss the first part? You ever heard a coach say that? We are the better team. You ain't never hear no coach say that. They said we have a great talented group of guys. These guys, we run hard, and if we play our best, we can win this game. They say those guys over there, they work hard. You know what I mean? I commend what they've been able to build over there. And that's the coach you sound like you're going to get. You're never going to get a coach that says, we are the better team.
Yeah.
We are that is an 8th seed. That is an 8th seed. We are the number 1 seed. We are clearly the better team.
Yeah.
And then go into the I'm telling you, I'm working for PR here. You fucking stepping on my goddamn lines.
No,
that is a great team over there. So this is part of the PR. You have to say that kind of shit, right?
I got you.
They got a great team over there. They work hard, and this part is important. He has to say this, and every team in the league should want that juice, that culture juice that the Heat are brewing over there. Every league, you can't say, oh, I wish we had that kind of. I wish we also have culture over here. You can't say that. You can't diss your own team, right? So okay, again,
that's the job of every coach, though. Every coach is trying to do that, though. All right. Are they not trying to build some kind
trying to do what?
Trying to build some kind of culture like that. I mean, that's
but it's not. But
the head coach.
Okay, but that's not winning culture. Remember, I'm behind the mic. I'm on press conference right now.
Got you. I got you.
Okay, so it's not like we're in a boardroom or we're in the freaking locker room trying to build a culture. Of course, everybody's trying to build up culture. That's not saying that. His statement should be, if I'm writing this statement, it should be, they have a great culture over there. Every team in the league should wish to have that level of culture that the Heat have. That's even putting your team as in like looking up to them, elevating them, right? And say because they have that specific culture over there. However, for all the metrics that earns the trophies, the tangible metrics that earn these trophies, you can have culture. It could take you a distance. It's gotten them to the finals.
Yeah.
But you have to be the better team.
Yeah.
To win the ship.
Absolutely.
And so we have superior offense. We have the number one guy in the league, 3 years standing. Really, he should be MVP. I mean, right this year he's going to get concession prize.
I would still argue Joel Embiid, but but okay, I hear you. I think Joel Embiid is better, but okay, that's fine.
We have and if anything, they're going to give him a concession prize of winning Finals MVP.
Of course,
Jokic is going to get Finals MVP because he didn't get the three league MVPs.
Yeah. But nobody gets those. Like they did the same thing with Joel Embiid. They did the same thing to Nash.
They did the same thing to Jordan.
They did the same thing to Jordan. Yeah.
Okay, so
LeBron. Yeah.
So you're not so. They did great, and they have great culture over there, but we're the better team, and we're supposed to win this series. Us, if we ever lost a series, it would be a huge disappointment for us.
Sure.
Versus them being, celebrating that. These motherfuckers pretty much playing with house money the whole time, and you can't say motherfuckers behind the mic, but they're playing with house money. They've overachieved what they've been able to build, and that's because they have a great coach. And because that culture is unsurpassed and the culture got them this far. And that's dope because Heat culture is you could tell people just mold into what it is to be a Miami Heat player once they come into our locker room, once they come into that organization. And he should say that, and that'll, but he's also telling the damn truth that we're the better team and we deserve to win this. They don't never say that. Sure. They always try to like, hey, we played well, we played great, and we should win this, and that's what happened. We had a great rebound. But coach, are you the better team though? Well, if you look at the numbers and you look at the final score, but coach, them niggas trash though, right, coach? right? They're never gonna be that real.
They got to play the narrative.
I know, but give us something more than the fucking There's the cookie cutter shit. I could tell you exactly what he's gonna say. He's just gonna write out some statistics. He's gonna be like, our guys really wanted it, kind of thing. Like, no, bro, your guys are bigger. They're physical. They're actually taller. You know what I mean? Like, they make better shots. Like they have better shot selection. They're not as streaky as this other team is. And this other team has been mediocre all season, right? Like, we were supposed to win this. This is when the algorithm got it right. Yeah. The algorithm is like, they've been great all year, number one all year. They beat, they swept the fucking, was it Lakers they swept?
The Lakers, they swept the Lakers.
They swept the Lakers, and so it's like, they're the best team in the league.
Yeah, by far.
So
they also beat the team that they were expected to lose by. They were expected to lose against the Suns.
I mean, they just got freaking KD on that bitch. Yeah. Like, come on, you really thought they was gonna, but no, they worked them, then they worked the Lakers, and they freaking working the Heat right now, 3-1. Yeah. And so the next game is back in Denver. That's not a good look for that to be the final game.
Doesn't look good. Yeah, doesn't look good.
So I booked a trip. Surprise! I didn't tell you this. I should have told you this, but I booked a trip for Game 7 in Miami. But I already bought the flight, so I'm gonna be down there. And who's to know what I might have an open calendar come that weekend. But that's what's up there. And that's the update on that.
So Challenge Day wouldn't be Challenge Day without any challenges to speak of. So, Roy, you want to start us off with any challenges you've been able to conquer as of late?
I have been having this back and forth in my head about relationships. I don't know. I feel like I've come at this in different ways at different points in my life, and then sometimes I think I might have actually reverted to a particular position and mentality that I had in the past, and then maybe I come away from that, and so I don't know if it's a moving target, but fostering relationships is be like, bro. Sometimes like you only want to put into it what you getting out of it,
Yeah.
like one for one.
Mm-hmm.
One for one. So it's like, oh, what have you done for me lately? Okay, boom, you did me a solid, boom, I do you a solid. Right? I expect a solid back, and then I do you a solid, and then it just bounces back and forth from that.
But that makes it
Right?
transactional.
It becomes very transactional.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people don't look at it more deeper than that in terms of under the surface level of like what it is that we have built together as we have a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't like dudes don't talk really say that, but like I have a relationship with this person. Like
Mm-hmm.
my best friend, I've had a relationship with him for over like 20 years now. That's a
Yeah, that's about right.
we're in a relationship, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um and dudes don't do no, niggas don't talk like that. You know what I mean? Like saying some shit, but like when you think about it, you're trying to be cool with this person, you want this person to be cool with you. You know, and this is not about him. This is not about him at all. You know, I'm just using that as an example. But you have to treat each individual that you care about. If they're into your life, you want them in your life for a particular amount of time. You want them in your life. Let's say, you think they're good people, you want them in your life indefinitely, and you want to be in their lives indefinitely. And hopefully, they want the same for you because you're a good influence on them, or you bounce ideas off each other really well, or maybe you have kids that are similar age. Whatever the anchor of that relationship is, you want that in terms of what you call a friend, right? Yes. And so even in friendship though, it's not a romantic relationship, but even a friendship, like you have to foster that thing as if it was like somebody that's your partner, right? Because things that you would do to like and this is the beautiful thing about people that describe their spouses that I married my best friend. Right? Because think about the relationship that they had before they were even married, before they even were romantic. It was like, I'm building such a solid connection with this person in terms of how they show up for me. I trust them. They trust me. They were there for me when I was down. They were there for me at the good times, but help keep me level-headed. Absolutely. And then, you know what I mean? And like gave me sage advice, but then sometimes they were down and I poured into them, and you have this dynamic relationship that builds and builds and builds to the point, and then the next you get romantic and you're married or something like that. But like the thing that made it work mostly for those kinds of couples is that the fact that they actually were friends. Yeah. So the friendships matter, and friendships matter to me. This is the challenge here. Is I have a friend who's been fucking ghosting me. This is a friend. I'm calling a friend. I'm not like, this is not just a bro. It's some dude I know. I'm not saying this is an associate. This is a friend.
How'd you come to that determination though?
That we're friends?
That you are being ghosted.
I can't get into specifics. Okay. But I'm not gonna do that. I ain't put nobody on blast specifically on that on blast like that. But I mean, the simplest thing, part of how do you determine is like you, and this is like, I remember this shit when I was when I was dating. Oh man, dating fucking sucks.
Imagine it now.
I don't know what y'all got going on right now.
Imagine it now.
The things that I hear is freaking crazy. Like it sucked back then. And the stuff that I'm hearing now, it's even worse than what it was back then. And so. Bro, how there's a story. There's a story. Speaking of ghosting, this dude. So these two people, I don't know the full story. I'm just hearing this, side talk, whatever. So I'm gonna butcher it, but I'm gonna get the major points right. Dude asked this lady out, right? She was like, boom, I agree. And this is talking about a Michelin star joint, right? This joint got a Michelin star. So he's talking about at least like end of the day, 300 minimum.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You got to get a bottle.
Facts.
You know what I mean? You don't go over there and order about a glass. It's going to be a bottle. They probably don't even have glass options. Anyways.
Big facts.
She said she wanted to go there, right? And so when you go to these places, you have to put down, you have to put on like a down payment, dog. You know, I ain't never been no Michelin star. I'm trying to do that.
I don't know, man. So like you a frequent
I don't know. I'm just hearing what they talking, what they saying, right? So you gotta put down a deposit, right? And you put down the deposit, and so for this particular date, the deposit was $70, right? Okay. This next part is kind of wild to me. I don't know how the fuck this happens, but the appointment was at 11 p.m.
What?
Not the appointment. The reservation was at 11 p.m. That's reservation,
bro.
Michelin star restaurant, whatever. I get it. Whatever. Major points. That's what the story said. She accidentally sleeps through her alarm because she figured the reservation's at 11 p.m. I'm gonna be mad tired. Let me get this nap in, a quick sleep in, and then, you know, I'll be fresh and ready to go on this Michelin star that I suggested that we go, that I want. Not suggested, but see, like, this is where I want to go.
Hey, was this for, I'm not even sure if you had this information. Was this for a first date?
I don't know if it was a first date, but they were just dating.
Bruh, that's okay. All right, go ahead.
They were dating, and in terms of like they're not like a couple.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They were just dating, right? And so so she slept through that.
This sounds like it's gonna be really bad.
She slept through it, and dude hit her up. It was like, hey, what happened? Oh, I'm sorry, I slept through the thing. He's like, you know, we'll figure something out and maybe make other plans. But just so you know, not for nothing, I'm just putting it out there, just for information. That because the cancellation, when you have a reservation at that particular place, is $70. So I'm just saying. It was 70. I had to pay $70 to cancel that reservation. So it was unfortunate that you had to, you know, you slept at that. We'll figure. Okay, gotta go. Wait, what? She was like, "Nigga, what?" She's like, basically, she came down to like, that's the cost of doing business, bruv. I'm sorry I slept through it. Like, I really wanted to go. You know what I mean? But like, it's low key kind of like,
that's crazy, bro.
Kind of like fucked up that you're asking me about the $70. Are you trying to say you want me to pay you the $70? And the dude was like, not really, but I mean,
you want to let you know that it was a costly,
I mean, you don't have to pay it, but like, I'm just letting you know that, you know, it's that I took a hit. I took an L because it wasn't just a cancellation. It's one thing you just do, then we could like, okay, you know, we'll figure something else out. It didn't cost nobody nothing. You know, I just, you know, I had my hopes up and I didn't get a date, whatever, right? And so, you know, but he's like, I'm just letting you know it was $70. And so Mom was like,
that's $70, man.
But for you to bring it up, it's giving broke boy.
Yeah, low key. Yeah, no, I feel that.
It's giving.
I feel that.
It's giving kind of like, bro. That's supposed to be like the cost of doing business. You know what I mean? And so that's for me. I'm like, that's pretty much the cost of doing business. Like, that's I mean, bro, you probably got you probably got a discount. Because how about this? Maybe you didn't like her on the date. Maybe she didn't like you. You know what I mean? Or whatever. And like you, so I had that date.
But see, now you're diving. But see, now you're diving into like, okay, what do you value more? Is it the currency of actual money or times, stress and all that stuff? So I see what you're getting at.
Some of that. So,
but $70, man. I'm just saying.
If you're dating,
$70.
But here's also here's the thing. If you're dating and you're out there, like you have like, you have maybe like 2 dates a week, right? Or even if it's just 1 date a week, you know, and on first date or second date, either one of those two, you're gonna try to do it big. One of those two. It's not the first date, maybe first date kind of low key. The second date, you're gonna be like, okay, now I'm gonna show what I really got. So one of those 2 days, you're gonna be spending some grip. So like, fools be spending every week. They gotta have a dating budget. Niggas gotta have a dating budget.
For real, like,
bro, that's good. Like
it's real out here. Yeah, for real. Like it's
and according to our normative patriarchal setup, the dude's paying. It's the dude that's paying.
That's what we've all been. That is the expectation, right? But there is a whole pushback with all this, right? With like this whole thing about going Dutch, right? With people splitting checks. That's like a whole thing now. Women hate it.
I mean,
women hate it, but it's definitely something.
But I can see why they would hate it, you know, because part of courtship that we've all been churning because there could have been a whole different style of courtship before. We could have been dancing, you know what I mean, and putting headdresses on, which they still do in countries, you know what I mean, and do a presentation, you know what I mean, for the potential bride to be like, yo, I'm legit, I'm good, I'm healthy, I'm strong. Look, and I'm creative. Look at this dance I put together, and so they still do that stuff. That could have been our setup, but it happens to be our setup here in the Western world is, you know, niggas go to Starbucks and then go to freaking Roots Chris or whatever, you know what I mean, or Benihana. You know, they talk about all the time. Anyways, the internet went crazy. The internet went crazy. You was out the country, so the internet went crazy. But it's like when a date goes bad today in today's age, it fucking burns down the internet. This is the fucking era of dating right now, which I do not envy. I do not fucking envy that shit. But one of the things I fucking hated, when I was dating, is when a motherfucker would ghost me. Like, have some respect.
That's part of the game, man.
So how do you? Your original question, and I also remind you how good I am at this to be able to come all the way back to the original question. But side note, the original question was, how do I know that he was ghosting me? How do I know that, right? And it's this telltale sign. So here's a nugget. All right, people out there that have been denying themselves, that have been like, no, it's not happening. It's been happening to you, and here's how you know. You messaging back and forth, heavy.
Change the behavior.
Boom, back. I send, you send. You know what I mean? Oh, I send, and it's like 6 to 7 hours. But I know that's your rhythm. You know what I mean? 6 to 7 hours. Boom, bam. Or if it's like right away. Spit. I can see you typing. Oh snap. You know what I mean? Like, I know your rhythm. You know my rhythm, and and we know the kind of relationship we've been building. Right? Where I'm gonna call you from time to time. You can call me from time. It's like there's a relationship where it's like, wait a minute. You're calling me? What's wrong? Or it could be like, hey, we back on the phone again. Boom, let's kick it, whatever. Or it could be text. However it is, when you had that change of behavior, 2 days has gone by, 3 days has gone by, a week. Like, I'm asking questions. I'm probing. Like. So here's what here's the disrespectful part about it. Now, let me just put one caveat and say I could be wrong about all of this, and this could just be me working this shit out in real time, like therapy. Like, we're on here for fucking therapy. Okay, so I'll put that caveat in there and say that. But when people ghost you, you know how they have like all these different levels of denial, you know, the stages of denial and all kind of stuff. So I don't know what the stages of it would be when you get ghosted. This could happen when email. Like, I've had coworkers, it's like, no, I need an answer. We were just talking. I know you're online. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, when that happens, it's so disrespectful to the party that's the victim of this, because unless you're intending to be disrespectful. That's a good way to be disrespectful if you're intending to be disrespectful. Because now they have to go these freaking stages of being ghosted. Is this something I said? Oh my God, let me go back through the text. Did I say something wild? Did I mention or damn, last time we talked, did I forget his birthday? You know what I mean? Or like, what the fuck? And then you're like, oh shit, maybe something's wrong with him. Oh shit, maybe he's hurt. Maybe he's in the hospital. Damn, you know what? Now that I think about it, last time I ever heard I wasn't hearing from him for a while. He was in hospital.
He going down this whole rabbit
hole. Bro, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
With normal people, with everybody. It has like unless you don't give a fuck about that person like that.
Yeah.
If it's somebody you fuck with heavy, like you have that routine and they break the fucking routine, you're gonna your brain, you're just like not doing whatever. Your brain is just gonna fucking remember. And then you're like, fuck, should I message again? But wait, maybe I'm being too thirsty. You know what I mean? That's another thing. Oh no, I'm being too thirsty. But damn, if I don't message, you know what I mean? Maybe I could have done something sooner. You know what I mean? Like, or does it look like I don't care if I don't check up? You know, like what? You put the motherfuckers in a tailspin.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I don't know what all the labeled stages would be, but I know what the final stage is. The final stage is, well, fuck you too. You go through all of that. You reason it out in your head. You freaking put yourself through all the scenarios, and not to say, you know what I'm saying, I'm not saying nothing like, yo, fuck you forever or nothing like that. But like, yo, bro, you just disrespected me. That's fucking disrespect. That's fucked up. And you know what I mean? You know, that's fucked up that you did that. You know, fuck you for that. You a fuck boy for that, man. That's fucked up. Even if it was me, I did something wrong. Let's say you have a relationship with somebody enough where you like, you can tell me.
Yeah, at least let me know.
Yo, this is what you did, bro. I need some time away from you.
Yeah.
Because the energy right now, you know, you said this, you did that. Bro, I need to sit on it for a minute. So, you know, and like, okay, oh, fuck, shit. You know what? I want to apologize right now, but I know you need time, so I'm just going to go away. I'll come back and apologize when you're ready for it or something. At least you put that, but even in that person had that enough respect for you. Yeah. To at least tell you what the fuck, because they actually fuck with you, so they care enough because they want the future relationship to thrive, that they'll at least mention it to you. Hey, this is what's going on, so you don't have to fucking call me up and keep calling me because I'm in the hospital or some shit like this. This is what's going on, and so I'm gonna need some time away from you. But that last stage is when my grace ran out. Is what I would say. My wife told me once, have some grace. It's stuck with me. Right? Have some grace. And I felt like I had grace. I like for a minute, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I'm patient. I'm shooting my shot again. You know, hey buddy, hey, and like at a certain point it's like, and I have other means of communication that I could like make, and I've done that. I've done those things. I've exhausted them. And homie ain't hit me back.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, for me, that's a clear sign of it that we just ain't rocking like that. for me, I'm not gonna lie, and this is probably not a good thing that I do in particular. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. If I get like the inclination, like the very first inclination, not even like maybe, or is he maybe not. If I get the very first sign or inclination that that's the type of time that you're on with me, regardless if I'm at fault or not, because if I'm at fault, at least you would let me know. But if you're not even letting me know, I'm not even gonna waste my energy on just trying to get that answer out of you. It's like, if you're not gonna let me know, bro, whatever, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I get the first inclination of that like you legit trying to.
And but think about this though, before you say that last part, we're talking about somebody that you rock with for over a decade now.
Yeah, I mean, that's it does make it exponentially harder to do that for sure. But sometimes you gotta let people know that. Look, you gotta I think I've gotten to a place where like I've made it clear to folks that, yo, like, you're not gonna, my peace is above everything. Like, you're not gonna have that leverage over me. I don't care who you are. Like, because it's like, because we're all at the end of the day, we're all seeking to keep our sanity every day. Right? and have some level of peace every day, and trying to limit the amount of stress that we intake every day. Like, and that just tells me that like you're not really honestly valuing what we've had for real. Like, even if I call you my boy, like you kind of, now you're kind of showing me that like, oh, what I thought we had wasn't really that for real.
Yeah, which,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you thought it was one way.
That's what it's, yeah,
but it's
you know
the other
way.
Like,
but it's exactly. So it's like, so you kind of giving me that vibe for real. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, okay, like, so I really like, I'm not saying that I'm one of those guys that don't give people chances. I give people chances for sure. Like, I definitely give people chances, but I take data points. I take data points, and I'm not trying to keep score, but like, you have to be mindful of how to foster different relationships, right? You have to be mindful of how people are, how they behave, and just
and you know, and every relationship you foster is like according to that person's likes, dislikes, and
exactly. So you kind of have to be mindful of certain things, right? So like, but there's certain behaviors that's the telltale sign, like what you're describing. That's like, yo, yeah, he's definitely moving like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that's just like, all right, that's cool. Like, I've never forced myself on anybody. That's never been my thing. I've always been about being organic in every relationship that I've ever had, right? And so that's just, but I let people know that, like,
now,
if that's
hold
what
on.
it is,
now,
then that's what it is.
Go ahead. Let me jump off of that and say this. It's interesting to put it that way. I'm not, when you say I don't force myself on nobody. So I like to foster relationships.
Okay.
I really enjoy that. I'm talking about in my personal life. I'm talking about in my professional life, hobbies. Like I foster relationships. I do that well. I was able to move up here in this whole area and build an entire universe of friends, and associates up here.
Yeah.
One of which officiated my wedding. You know, because like I say this all the time, and it's not, and I hope I hope it comes out as endearing as I mean it. When I say I collect people. I collect people, right? And
you sound like a vampire, man.
But I don't want anybody to think that, like,
I understand. Yeah.
I don't want people to think that I'm, you know, doing it in a sense of like I'm like some sort of trying to manipulate, like I'm manipulating or trying to treat people as things, like they don't have autonomy or something like that. I'm not trying to
like
say
utilities.
That. Yeah. Like I'm just using people. I'm just I collect people. Like people that
networking is important.
People that I fuck with, like, you know, like if you're in my life and you kind of like, you know my wife, you know a little of these, you know, details about my life. Like, I've brought you into my universe. I feel.
My fold, yep.
And these folks are like inviting me to their holidays with their families now, you know, or like I said, officiating my wedding. You know what I mean? Staying over at my house. You know what I mean? For, you know, coming from out of town, things like so. So I've collected a bunch. So like my network, I feel like I have a good, strong network of love, right? And so this dude is kind of in that realm too, right? So by fostering relationships, though, you have to do certain things. Sometimes like lead intentionally, and you have to like lead by example, right?
That's fair.
So I do things for folks, and because I want them to know that I'm thinking about them, and the things that I would do for them, I want it to be very unique to them and their experiences and what has happened between our relationship. That could be seen as forcing myself on someone, but it's like, no, I'm trying to show you how much I appreciate having you in my life. If I'm talking to you, or if I'm following up with your family, trying to get at you, it's because I value you. You know what I mean? I'm worried about you. If I'm worried about you, that, you know, that means that I feel like we've built that sort of relationship. That I've collected yet another good person that I want to be part of, you know, this universe. And every once in a while, I've had to cut branches. I'm not saying, you know, I'm just saying that for the podcast. I'm just saying that for the podcast. That I've had to cut branches off that growing tree or whatever. Nothing to do with homie, you know. And it's I hope it. I don't want it to come to that. I don't want it to come to that. There's a couple other friends that just like they told you, they pretty much told you without telling you, you know what I
mean? Yeah.
You're in the outskirts, buddy. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're in the outskirts. You're not even on my Google Calendar to tell me it's your birthday, which Google does it for you automatically if you have their fucking email address or some shit. Like you're not even making it in my calendar. You know what I mean? So like, you get the point. You get the hint with that. And those say like, okay, more power to you. You know what I mean? I hope you do great. Go on to do great things. You know what I mean? And I'll hit the like button on social media or something like that when I see it in the future. But it's not like I'm going to be invited to the event, to the ribbon cutting or whatever it is. I know that. I get it. That's cool. You know what I mean? It's just it. Or other people, for me, it's just like, hey, I'm not vibing with you vibing. You know what I mean? Just like, I'm going to go this way. And I just speak about stuff. So those things kind of happen. So that would be what I call equivalent cutting branches. But I guess the one person's fostering relationship could be another person's forcing.
Yeah. And I don't know. I guess it may also be for me kind of like I take that title pretty seriously as far as like calling someone my friend. I don't really like expanding my circle. That could stem from a few different things, right? It could be trust issues or all kinds of different things, right? Whatever. I just don't like really expanding my circle like that. Like a lot of the same friends that I think I've mentioned before on the podcast that a good bit of my closest homies are guys that I've known for a large part of my life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not really fond of that. You know what I'm saying? Of like bringing someone into my current circle of friends that I really, really rock with, right? Like friends that are like closer to me than relatives that I have, right? Like much closer, right? So yeah, I mean, I definitely understand your perspective on this, man. Like it could come off that way for sure. And you just have to, honestly, I think you just have to take it what is it? Take it with a grain of salt. That there are people who are just seasonal. Sometimes those seasons could be a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes those seasons can, there are some places in the world where winter is 9 months. Some places where it's 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, like in Alaska, like winter can be like 9 months. So it's a weird
but
thing,
it sucks to be at that fucking intersection.
That's
where you're like,
that's a fact.
Oh shit.
Nobody likes,
This is the the freaking demarcation.
Yeah.
Once you cross that line,
the fork in the road. This is the fork in the road.
That's that fork in the road. Like, oh shit, I'm here. Like, nah.
Yeah. Like no one, there's no one who cares about the relationships that they have look forward to that. You know what I'm saying? It is a reality. It is reality. There are people that I thought that I would still be like really cool with to this day that I'm really not.
It's just like life just takes you apart to different routes.
That's just what it is. So I mean, I think for me, I've actually learned that fairly recently, in the past couple of years or so, at least for me, is that's just the reality of some of the close relationships I've had. Like I've had really close relationships that I had to basically sever because of one reason or another. So, so yeah, so I get that, man. I get that as far as the relationships go. But as far as relationships, there are some toxic ones that you might have that you need to rectify, and that one toxic relationship that I have is with global entry. Right. I have a toxic relationship with Custom Border Patrol.
You got something to say? You got something to say about your government?
I have something to say about CBP, man, and the global entry program. So if anyone know about the GE program, it's just an expedited way to enter back into the United States. It's
okay, because you was just going out the country.
Yeah,
so you had to come back.
Yeah, bro. It's a whole thing, bro. And just so everybody's aware, this is my challenge that I was able to conquer. But just to give you a little context, bro, it's ridiculous, bro. So so this, bro.
When did you first apply for global entry?
Yo, so I applied for global entry on July 25th last year. So July 25th, 2022.
2022. Okay,
and
so
I
that's when
just
you first
came
applied.
back.
So
Yeah,
side note though is that if y'all listening out there, check y'all credit cards. If y'all have a lot of these credit cards companies will give you the application for the global entry is free. They'll pay for it. They'll cover it.
They pay for it. Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. So just keep that. They do that also for the TSA pre-check.
Yes.
And some of them do it for Clear.
Yeah.
I know not every airport has Clear, but Clear is also good for sometimes like when you go to concerts or sporting events.
Yes.
It's a faster line for Clear. So they each have the little benefits. You got to look it all up, but you apply for global entry July 2022.
Yeah, July 2022. And one quick thing about GE, when you apply for global entry, also TSA pre-check actually comes with it as well. I did it the reverse way because at the time I had TSA pre-check, which I didn't know that if I would have did GE, it would have came with TSA pre-check. And the reason why that is because obviously both programs are under CBP, and there's a number that you have, like an actual like your membership ID number, and it's the same. So they want you to get they want you to apply for GE, and they get TSA.
Yeah, but like when people but GE wasn't even available when I first got my TSA pre-check.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't even available back then. Like, I got my shit originally through the military.
Yeah.
But they didn't have as a program, that shit was not there. And then after I left the military, I went and got it on my own, the TSA pre-check. So my shit kind of went backwards, kind of like that too.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe at some point they started it.
Yeah.
They say, hey, this is what we want. But they don't even promote it like that because the price structure is different. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, I think the renewal is the same though, right?
Yeah, it's the same amount of years, and that is the weird thing, right? Because obviously along the way they consolidated that, right? Where they probably were, there may have, and this is just speculation, just thinking about it. Maybe there were a bunch of people kind of doing the same way that we did, like where you got TSA pre-check and then let's go get GE. And they're like, hey, these are the programs that we created. Let's just consolidate this to make it one simple.
No, I'm gonna tell you what exactly happened. Fucking government happened because with the government. Fucking government. I work in the government, so I know these freaking shortcomings. And this program was created, something like TSA, right? It was created, great idea, and we're gonna do this, and people are tired of all these protocols because of what happened in 9/11. By the way, don't forget, a lot of this shit that we're still doing today. Because of fucking 9/11. That
TSA was created because of 9/11.
That is the influence those terrorists had. Yeah, that's the influence. That department was created. This shit is freaking just a ripple effect. It's all of it a ripple effect from this. So we're still we're still fucking feeling the ramifications of the goddamn 9/11. Okay, so they create the program because at the time they was like coming up with, we have people complaining about all the damn taking off the shoes and all this kind of stuff, and so. In order to run this other program and get people to work the offices, do the background checks and all that kind of stuff, they have to charge a fee. So they charge a fee so that, boom, this is your TSC. But this is also why credit card companies and all that kind of stuff could give you shit for free because they get all kinds of government subsidies, whatever.
Absolutely.
So the government created this program. Now this program is thriving, right? Then there's this somebody thinks there's this new problem, right? When it comes to international travel and they're coming and returning. And like, damn, people come back from international travel and the international travel line is freaking wild, crazy egregious. Long, right? It's egregious. To come to think about it, it's like, maybe it should always be because like, there's only so many airports that do international travel. Exactly. And so people, whenever they pick their flights, regardless of not, if their travel dates is all different than whatnot, they're like, there's only a select amount of flights that is landing at that airport, so I have to go in around this time. So whichever time of day that they can get, you know what I mean, they're gonna come in. So it's like that coming back into the country is a long line. And so
especially after traveling internationally, you're tired, you're agitated.
Yep. And so now they got you. They say, okay, we should create a program for this, right? So here is the nugget about your government. Your government doesn't say, hey, we got this other program that is kind of similar and kind of needs the same information, needs the same background, needs the same kind of background check. And you know what? Let's let's do a relaunch of this organization. Let's do a restructure. You know what I mean? We'll give it new branding, whatever, whatnot, right? And we'll call it, and it's a program. It's not a whole department. It's a program that they're running. Program, yeah. Right? And we could just call it TSA / global entry. You know what I mean? What the fuck? Or pre-global entry or global entry check. Bro, shit writes itself. Anyways, right? Yeah. Okay, so you got this thing, this program that's already running, that's already fine, and so all you need to do is like attach this other responsibility, right, for the programs. Now they have international travel. It's the same fucking airports. You're at the airport anyways. Just have your guys walk over there and do that freaking global entry check-in kind of thing. Like so, but no, the government, what they do is they freaking start a working group. Somebody has to write a draft, and somebody has to write another draft about that draft, and then somebody has to finalize that, and that goes up a bunch of ribbon cutting, right? The bureaucracy, right? And then a year and a half later, right? This thing comes out.
Comes down to the money, man.
Right? all comes down to the budget and all that kind of crap. There's a lot. I'm just skipping just to say that they create a whole new program with a whole new director for that program, and that's a job that will now be like entrenched. And that shit would just be going for history through all time, right? So this is why they don't just fucking cancel advertising that way. Just they existed separately, and that's just where you're gonna be. So how you gonna know to get the global entry, and they even have the fucking shit intertwined? It's fucking it's seamless. You get the global entry first, and they automatically give you the TSA because it's so fucking seamless. It should just be one program.
It should be one. It should literally just. It shouldn't like to the point where if you go on a site, it's listed as separate programs. Like, and it's like, bro, just put let's say global entry track and say it includes this. You know what I'm saying? Like, just
why I gotta have another application?
Right. It is kind of ridiculous. It is kind of ridiculous, and all the website requires just an update to show that it's ridiculous. But anyways, that's a whole other thing because I can explain that, but that's a whole other thing. So it's entirely ridiculous.
So boom, you apply for this joint. So like what, 2-3 months, you got your shit right. You're good to go,
bro. Yeah, all right.
What you mean?
So I applied for.
It's your government.
Right? Listen, bro, and if I didn't essentially take matters to my own hands, and I will caveat and say this that. I'll give credit to what credit's due, because Darwin did tell me that I need to go take my butt over there to the Reagan building and go question somebody about it.
I said just go in person, bro.
He said just go in person and go check it out and see what's going on with the application, because I did tell him about this some time ago, and I was gonna do it anyways, but I kind of was low-key angle. I was procrastinating a little bit. I was, so I was like, all right, but I knew, but
that Zanzibar trip was gonna creep up on your ass,
bro. And I
got you out there.
And I saw how quickly it was coming, and I was looking at the time. I was like, all right, man, I need to go make this trip. So I was like, and the luxury of working remote, I can work remote in wherever I go. So that definitely helps as well. So I was like, man, I'm about to go take this trip, bro. So took the trip. I'm working like on my way there or whatever. So I got there, and mind you, this is a week before my Zanzibar trip, right? Like literally like the Friday before, right? Well, the Thursday before, right? I left Friday that following week. So it was that Thursday. Went there, and I was like, "Yo, I have my application in for like 11 months, bro. Like, what's going on?
11
what's the deal?
Months. What were they telling you between July and
nothing? All it said was
you called them up.
Yeah, this is the thing. There is no number. You can only email them. I emailed them. You know how it go. You know how it go. Come on, bro. We know how it all goes. Of course there isn't a phone number. Of course there isn't a phone number. So you can only email them. And then like the email that you get back as a response is a generic email that says, "Oh, you know how like when you call
AI. Y'all say y'all want that AI. If there was a human being saw that email, they'd be like, man, this person looks sad. They've been waiting for so many months. Let me reply to this person." But no, that AI just gave some generic shit.
Bro, that AI is just reading keywords from your email and it sent you a generic email every single time, bro. You know how you'll call like customer service for like any kind of company or whatever, and they'd be like, because of high traffic and call volume, your wait time, all that nonsense. So like similar, it's kind of like that with the email. Like you send the email and there's certain keywords that you can tell that their algorithms can read as far as their email service. which is what is it? SMTP. That's the protocol, whatever. But like their email service or whatever, we'll read the keywords, and then you'll get a generic email that's gonna get sent back to you. Hey, we're getting a large volume of applications, so the wait time for the getting approved for these applications can be 4 to 6 months. I emailed them, and this is like the first time I emailed them was like maybe like in November, after I applied, and I emailed them again like in January, and I got like another same generated email, but now it said the wait time is like anywhere from this was a ridiculous range. It said anywhere from 4 to 18 months or something like that. I was like, what? What kind of range is that?
That bit is like that bit is like the range of time is between 4 months and life expectancy for a black male in America. So
so
40 years, 45 years.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Bro, I was like, this can't be life.
You shouldn't even have that in the algorithm, dog. Don't tell nobody that. Don't tell nobody that. Just send somebody to be like, this site is still under construction. That's what you said. I'd rather get that than fucking what?
What range is that? Like it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I wish I took like a picture of it. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I was like, bro, this is crazy. So I ended up going there, like I was saying before, I ended up going to actual like the enrollment center, because there's an enrollment center here in DC, where you would have to go to do your in-person interview anyways. So I went to that spot, and again, this is a week before I actually had to fly out to Zanzibar, and I asked him, I was like, yo, like, bro, I have my application in for this period of time. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Like, all my information is straight, everything is cool, whatever. And it was like one of the CP officers that was there. He was kind of questioning me about it. Really, nice older gentleman, like cool guy. He was just talking. He was like, okay, let me see what I can do for you. So like, he was like, so he looked at my information. He was just kind of like asked me a couple questions just to kind of vet my identity. And I was like, everything checked out. He was all right. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna send this to someone, your application, to someone who's above me to see if they can like push it forward. I mean, it's no guarantees, but I'm gonna try to help you out. I'm gonna see if someone above me can like get this application approved so you can go ahead and get going. Because I make sure to emphasize to him, I was like, yo, I'm going out of the country next week Friday. Next week Friday, bro. Like I really need you to like do your boy solid for real. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I'm gonna try to see what I can do. I'm gonna give it to my superiors, and hopefully they can go ahead and if everything checks out with them, they can get you going and you can come back in.
Here's the thing too, when I do things like that, when I'm like, tell you just take your butt up there, it's cause at least you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
No, that's a fact. And that's what I came down to. Like, like I said earlier, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a little bit of procrastination, I ain't gonna lie, but I kept thinking about it. I was like, you know what, man, I need to just go down there for real.
But I don't want to discourage you in the sense that sometimes it ain't gonna work out. It's still ain't gonna work out. But shoot your shot anytime, anyway. You might break.
But this is the thing. Even if it didn't work, I still would have been glad that I at least tried. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like even if it didn't work. So because at the very least, like I'm being intentional about it and putting my best foot forward to like, yo, like get some eyes on it or whatever. So like
this happen.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like. So like
that nigga trying.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what it look like when a nigga be trying.
I'm actually out here trying. So and lo and behold, like I was literally on my way. I got right back on. Like so after I talked to the guy and he was like, yeah, I sent it up. Hopefully you can get a response. He's like, just make sure you check your account every single day. Like like he said, like on the hour every day. Just make sure, just kind of see if your status changed, right? I was like, all right, cool. So I left. I got back on the rail to go back to the crib. Like literally like an hour later, I got an email, and it said, "Oh, your status changed in your account." I was like,
"Hey,
what?" Hey. So I checked my account, and I was like, "Wow!"
so somebody had to wake y'all up,
right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that dude was taking a nap. He's like, "I ain't got nothing to do. I'm gonna take a nap." That dude was napping for like 9 months, 11 months.
It was, bro. I was like, nah, it can't be this easy, man. Like, nah. It can't be this easy.
It been there the whole time for you.
The whole time, just sitting there. Just sitting there, bro. Just sitting there, bro. Like, and got approved just like that. Just literally after an hour. And then they said, so after that was done, I was able to go schedule my interview. And of course, there were no interview slots available to reserve, right?
But so again, just take your ass up there.
Yep. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go right back up there next week, that following week. So I went back. I think it was like a Tuesday or actually that Wednesday because I had to go like do some other stuff in DC anyway. So I was like, I kill two birds with one stone kind of thing, which I was able to do. I went back up there, and I walked in like just as a regular walk-in, whatever. I was like, man, I'm traveling in a couple of days. I just need to knock this interview out. And the guy that was there was like, he kind of looked to see, he looked.
But how about it? Well, how about this though? I want to set this up. If you don't have global entry, man, bruh, wait till Jeff tell you about this Guantanamo Bay level, freaking dark. Fucking they captured the Dark Knight. They got him strapped to a chair level. You know that scene with Black Widow at the beginning of Black Widow movie where they have her strapped to the chair. You know what I mean? And this is and so Jeff, how was the interview,
bruh? So the guy, so I went up to the little counter or whatever, and the guy was like, "All right," he's like, "Come." So he was like working with somebody who had an appointment already finished.
And mind you, for preparing for this interview, Jeff had to fast for at least like 48 hours before this. That's one piece, right? He was doing he practiced Bro. At a Tough Mudder. He actually did a Tough Mudder. Congratulations to your boy. He's doing Tough Mudder and everything for this interview. Okay, so keep that in mind. Go ahead.
So there was a guy in front of me who had a reservation and he was able to get him done. And then he called me up because he had like a space of time. So I went up for an interview. Bro, I just gave him my passport. He asked me like 2 or 3 questions and was like, "All right, cool. You're good to go. You cleared. Your status is activated immediately. You're good to go." And I looked around. I was like, "That's it?" He's like, "Yeah." Bro.
Wait. No, bro. I got it. So then to get out of that place, you had to swap it real fast on the little podium thing before the ball was coming down to crush you before you got out though, right? You couldn't just get out like that, right?
Bro, I literally just walked out. I walked in, was there for a couple minutes, walked back out, I was out the door.
Okay, no. Okay. All right. But the two questions he asked you were the most profound questions you've ever been proposed to you in your life. It had you in there in the grips of existentialism. Like, what is real? Am I actually here? It had you trapped in a paradox, right?
Nah, man. He asked me, bruh. He asked me 2 questions that was on my application.
11 months.
And I was like,
11 months.
Yo, it didn't hit me. Like, it didn't hit me how absurd it was until like I sat down and I realized like, bro, I waited 11 and a half months, bro. 11 and bro. I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, it's a backlog. It's all this different stuff. It's COVID, and you know.
You thought you was gonna get there? There's gonna be a line,
bro. I'm thinking I'm gonna be there. Bro, I brought like a whole cat bag. Think it's gonna be like a whole an all day affair. Like I brought.
Nigga pay the gig worker to stand in line for him,
bro. I brought my lawn chair. I had like I had my first aid kit and like maybe like a dopamine pen or something.
Yo, nigga,
just in case I got, you know what I'm saying?
Like, brought out one of those little Weber grills, you know what I'm saying? In case you gotta grill up some sausages while you.
Bro, I'm over there like, bro. I had like a whole go bag. Like I was a part of like the Mission Impossible, you know what I'm saying? Ghost Reckoning. No. The whole team.
Like, it's the same bag. It's the same. It's like your doomsday bag.
Yeah,
same bag.
Same bag, bro.
If it was a post-apocalyptic future,
yeah, bro. It was so like the experience. It was so ridiculous. Like it was so ridiculous. Like it took more time for me to get through their security checkpoint, checking my bags, than it took me when I was in there. Like it took more time getting to the security checkpoint. Like longer than it did for me to get through the interview, bro. Like it was. You know what it made me think about? It made me think about this. Like you said it earlier, but we really shoot a shot. We really miss the shots that we don't take, bro. Like if you're not shooting your shot for real, bro. Like there are things that I think that we overcomplicate in our lives, just regular stuff like that. That we make things much harder than what they actually are, rather than just like, let me just investigate this a little bit.
Yeah, let me look a little bit.
It took a little bit. Let me just look into it. Let me just look into it just to see if there's something to this particular issue, right? And it just took me going down to it cost, how much did it cost me? It cost me an hour of my day. It cost me 1 hour of my day. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I honestly, I didn't lose money that day because I work remote anyways. So it's not like I lost money.
You know what I'm saying? Like an hour off.
Right? Yeah, literally. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I work for a company, which is why I like my company. So my company is dope. Like, you know, if you got like run a quick errand, like, yeah, okay, just, you know, go ahead and do it, you know, whatever, and just get back to work. Like, my company is like, it's cool like that. Like, they're big on like work-life balance, so we're able to kind of like move like that. Being like, the fact
at a whim, if you need, if we can go do
something. Yeah, if it's like something like, yeah, they're not really tripping about it, because especially if they know that you like are like a person who actually gets your work done. Like, I'm a guy that's known to get my work done. Like, they're not tripping. They know I'm reliable, right? So that's another nugget, guys. You have to be reliable at your profession,
so that you can freaking do things like that.
So you can do, like, exactly.
Take random trips.
Yeah. So and at the very worst, it was only an hour. It was an hour of my time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so and that's all it took. That's all it took. And because that hour, I was able to come back into the country when I came back to Zanzibar. Bro, I went through the global entry line, like with global entry.
It's nasty.
I got through
it's nasty.
I got to, from me getting off my plane to where baggage claim was.
You probably beat your bag.
I beat my bags. I had to wait. I was able to go get some coffee. I was through the line so quick. It was like 3 minutes max. I got through that line so quick, and I looked back and I looked at the global entry line. I was like, bruh. My bag, the conveyor belt didn't even start yet.
You almost did not get your pass, dog.
Bruh, almost did not get that, man. I would have been, bro.
Days.
I'd have been so hot, bro. I'd have been that line fuming, bro. And I got that joint a couple of days before, 2 days, really 2 days before the Zanzibar trip.
Yeah, they fucked me up. They got me good. The reason I was in some of those questions, because like I've been through that experience, you know. It's fucking ridiculous. And I got to the interview that I was like, oh. I was like, this is it, huh? I did all of that waiting, all that butch for this. Oh, okay. Yeah. But for me, like, I'm like, well, this is this government. Like, I know how the government goes. I'm like, it makes sense. Like, I have to keep reminding myself. So if you're out there applying for something with the government, or you need some government assistance, or you need to apply for a program or a job or something like that, hurry up and wait. That's the motto. Hurry up, get the application in, or hurry up and get whatever in that you need to get in, and then prepare to wait.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a long goddamn.
That's really, I ain't gonna lie. That's really how the American government operates. That's all really how they operate, man.
All kinds of deadlines, but then when it comes time to deliver, you don't have to wait on it.
Yeah,
you don't have to wait on that. Bro.
It's so crazy. It kind of makes you think about like some of these institutions and these entities, they'll take your money pretty quickly.
Yeah.
If you ask for a refund, it's going.
Oh, we gotta get the receipt from you. We gotta send. Don't worry, we'll send you a box. You know what I mean? Yeah. You fuck around. You called us in the end of a quarter, so we kind of can't issue the refund yet because our reporting for this quarter. So we'll issue to they take their time. Bro, and then the banks is like, what we just got this money from these dudes. We got this money back. Hey, man, like, you sure? Like, right now? Hold on, let me earn a little bit of interest real quick. Let me throw that in the stock market for a day. Yeah. See how I do. And come back, okay, yo, we made a profit. It's all you. It's all you. That's you. This piece is yours. Nigga done made freaking $1,000 off of my $30 purchase already. Yeah. Because they invested it real quick.
Big facts.
So. All right, man. But that's been, that was a hell of an experience.
Yeah, G is crazy.
You got it there in the nick of time. And you were able to bookend your trip to Zanzibar by being able to come back, to the country inside without any hiccups. So shouts out to you.
With ease, bro.
What up, fam? It's Darwin, the guy that was just talking. First off, thanks for watching and supporting the show. But I got to give y'all some homework. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to interact with the show. That means 1, hitting that like button because I know you like our stuff. 2, make sure you subscribe. so we can swim our way up your timeline whenever we drop new content. The third thing, please share the channel with your friends. Maybe they'll learn a thing about a thing or two. Oh, last thing, we're over here talking about what y'all talking about. So go ahead and carry that conversation on into the comments. We be up in there too.
If you've been following or just not living under a rock,
maybe
you've probably heard, even if you probably didn't want to, you probably heard about Trump's indictment. You know, he's been indicted, and this particular indictment is there's some stuff in there that's pretty damning.
This is legit one. It's federal.
Yeah, it's legit.
And it's a lot.
Quite a few stuff in there for sure. So, what you got going on? What you got from this?
The Trump indictment is damning. Not my words. Not my words. The National Review.
Mm-hmm.
The National Review. I would never in my life thought that I would be reading from the National Review.
Title, yeah.
Who I think is a racist ass website. Mm-hmm. It's a far right wing freaking MAGA website.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you their identity before I have to read this thing. I have to read this whole fucking thing for y'all. This is the National Review we're talking about. So here's one little exercise I love doing. Is when there's like big political stuff that happens. I like going to watch Fox News. I like it.
And see how they report on it.
They just like when Obama got elected or when Biden got elected. It's like just gonna see how they do it.
I do that too actually. I go to different news outlets just to see how they cover it.
Just to see Fox just be like oh my god, trying to swallow all their words back in their mouth. And like, this just be like equivocating and like what aboutism and all this. They're freaking just pulling their hair out, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on over there and to try not to say the reality of what it is.
What's actually happening, yep.
Like when Biden won Arizona, they were like, it's look at and they called it first.
Yeah.
And they called it first. They're like, this is
at one point they couldn't even deny it anymore. They were like,
they couldn't deny it. And I just love watching them fucking have to eat it. Just fucking eat that shit because they're not a fucking real news organization. Yeah. So this is way more far right than Fox News. The National Review. Do not go there if you don't want your brains to just fall out of your head. Okay? I'm gonna read this whole fucking thing. And the Trump indictment is damning. National Review, look it up. Not my words. By the editors, and this is not an opinion piece. This is from the editor. So this is like a journalistic article.
Yeah.
Whatever
that means it was reviewed.
Whatever credibility they have journalistic wise, journalism wise. Just as paranoiacs sometimes have enemies, people obsessively pursued for alleged violations of law by their political opponents sometimes commit criminal offenses. At many junctures, most recently with Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, flimsy charges, we've had occasions to point out how Donald Trump's adversaries have twisted the law in a politically motivated effort to nail the former president. They setting it up. These are their words. These are their words, not mine. Okay? And we certainly do not welcome the precedent of a federal prosecutor who ultimately reports to the president indicting that president's leading rival for election. So Joe Biden is Donald Trump's prime, opponent because we know what the polls are, right?
Yeah.
That said, it is impossible to read the indictment against Trump in the Mar-a-Lago documents case and not be appalled at the way he handled classified documents as an ex-president and respond to the attempt by federal authorities to reclaim them. Again, I'm reading from the National Review. You saw the setup, how that paragraph started.
That's crazy.
how that paragraph started.
Yeah,
This ain't no liberal fucking. Maybe some liberals got a hold of the passwords and uploaded some shit, but like they letting you know in each and every other sentence, like we are right wing. We have defended this dude from all these other charges and all these other. Moving on. When he moved out of the White House, Trump moved many boxes of materials to Mar-a-Lago, many containing nothing more than memorabilia, such as newspaper clippings, photos, cards, various notes, and letters. But included along with these run-of-the-mill items were hundreds of documents marked classified. These documents, according to the indictment from Special Counsel Jack Smith, filed in U.S. District Court of Southern District of Florida, included Jeff, can you read that part? What did it include?
So, included information regarding defense and weapons capabilities of both the United States and foreign countries, United States nuclear programs, potential vulnerabilities of the United States and its allies to military attack, and
the National Review
possible retaliation in response to a foreign attack. I can't.
Plans for possible retaliation in response to a foreign attack. So now they know our possible retaliation. I'm not saying nobody. I don't know.
Even our contingencies. That's crazy.
I don't know if this information has left the country just yet. I don't know.
So
I'm not saying it has, but this shit has been.
But security 101 will say in the area
assume that it's gone.
Assume that it's gone. Assume the worst.
Assume that it's gone.
You gotta assume the worst because you can only prepare for the worst if you assume for the worst. So
the National Review goes on to say once Trump was no longer president, he had no right to these materials. Full stop. Oh, that's a period. That's a period. That's a period at the end of that sentence. Once Trump was no longer president, he had no right to these materials. That's the National Review. He stored them recklessly, not in a secured space that had been approved to handle classified documents, but farcically in places including his bedroom and bathroom and ballroom. This was within his Mar-a-Lago club. This is a club. This is an active working golf club.
Literally a club
that has hosted events for tens of thousands of people within the roughly year and a half that the documents were in his possession. Tens of thousands of people have visited Mar-a-Lago within that time because you look at the averages of how many people frequent that place.
Yeah, sure.
Once Trump brushed off months of demands from the National Archives and Records Administration, NARA, to return the missing records before relenting in January 2022, last year, 2022, but only providing a portion of what was in his possession, roughly 15 boxes, which included 197 documents that were marked as classified. After a grand jury subpoena demanded all classified documents, Trump's lawyers then turned over 38 more documents, also marked classified. But when the FBI carried out this controversial search, the search warrant, later that summer,
the one that y'all saw,
the one that everybody saw on TV,
yep,
they found they seized more boxes. They found 102 additional documents with classified markings.
This is so crazy because it's like the very fact that you're getting specific requests from the National Archives. This is the same department that handles.
They gave you so much distance and space. And we talked about grace earlier. They gave him so much grace to turn that shit over.
I think people, the National Archives and the Records Administration, I think people need to understand that this particular organization is the same organization that houses documentations that literally makes the United States a country. Like these are pertinent documents. They have documents.
Oh, we're a country. Somebody should write that down. What is that? Declaration of Independence.
They literally
yeah, we have to hold on to that thing. We should probably.
Literally
the Constitution. Yeah, we should probably hold on to this and guard it with our fucking lives.
Like literally, like this is not just some run of the mill like third party company.
Bro, they own these documents that are the secret stuff that talk about the goddamn contingency plans,
bro. And the fact that you even was like, let me just give him some of the documents, bro. That's crazy, bro.
Jeff. But here's the crazy part.
That's crazy.
We ain't even get to the pictures,
that's
dog.
That's
It's not like you took a binder or two. Yeah. This nigga took like a warehouse full of fucking boxes.
Yeah, bro.
So it says here, the indictment offers evidence that Trump misled investigators about his possession of the documents and took took actions to conceal them. But most damning is the transcript of a conversation, because this nigga can't stop fucking talking, during which Trump showed one of the documents to a reporter. Just like that, because he's talking that smack, because he think he's the big man on campus. Look at what I can do. I got these fucking documents. Speaking of a theoretical attack plan, Trump produced a document and said it is like highly confidential. He also said, see, as president, I could have declassified it, but admittedly, now I can't. But this is still a secret. So like, he's just casually just fucking telling this to a reporter.
Yo.
The audio, and they have audio of this shit. The audio of this conversation makes it a lot more difficult for Trump to chalk everything up to an innocent case of some classified documents getting mixed up with other personal items from his presidency. Boxes, warehouse of boxes worth of stuff, right? It also directly contradicts some of the laughable public defenses that were made by Trump and his team last summer, including the idea that there was a standing order that whatever documents he brought to Mar-a-Lago to work were automatically declassified. He said that. That's what he said. He just said that there's a standing order, right? That's what they were claiming out there, right? It's clear from the conversation, though, that he not only knew he was in possession of secret documents that were never declassified, but knowingly shared them with people who lacked the security clearance to see them. Remember what he said? He said, no, now I can't, because it's still a secret.
Yeah.
So he knows they're still
he knows,
classified.
Yeah.
We understand why many conservatives are willing to view the charges against Trump in a vacuum, given that the Justice Department let Hillary Clinton off the hook for her reckless handling of government secrets and the resulting cover-up, that President Biden is unlikely to pay a price for his own mishandling of classified documents. Now, remember, this is National Review. They got to do this fucking tap dance.
Yeah, sure. They have to, yeah.
They got to do this fucking tap dance. But notice in the tap dance, notice in the tap dance, they didn't even mention Mike Pence.
They didn't. That's true.
Because Mike Pence had the documents too, but it's the National Review. So again, that's to emphasize that this ain't no liberal rag. This is the National Review. Okay.
Oh, and by the way, Mike Pence just recently threw in his hat in the ring.
His hat in the ring. Mike Pence is running for Mike Pence is running for president too.
Could be something there. It could be a connection there. So
we'll see. So they say what is it? The Democrats and their allies have pursued a years-long campaign to get Trump. All of those are legitimate considerations. No, they're not. Whatever. And the contrast with how James Comey and company handled the Hillary case is particularly galling. Whatever. You know what? Let that go. But it doesn't change the fact. This is their words, not mine. But it doesn't change the fact the country wouldn't be in this uncharted territory if Trump hadn't taken documents he had no right to and simply complied when asked to give them back.
That's it.
They would have even forgiven the fact that you took them.
Yeah.
And had them on for so long. And outside of the fucking security parameters that are required for such documents. Yeah. They're gonna get at you. They're gonna they're gonna take that L. Just get the shit back.
Yeah, That's crazy because they definitely would have, because those things carry heavy penalties, man. And like I'm a guy that I have a clearance, so I know
Boxes
those.
and boxes.
I know
and
those. Yeah.
boxes.
Not only it's so crazy because it's like, first of all, anything that's declassified has to go through a whole process. Number one. Number two, even those with clearances have to have a need to know.
Yeah.
Right. They have to have a need to know. So even if you
If
have
it ain't got nothing to do with you, you ain't even going.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, bro. I don't even know what to say. I ain't gonna lie. This is bad, bro.
This is bad. The National Review done told y'all.
Yeah.
This is okay. Bad. So yeah, man, you got to look up these pictures. You gotta look up these pictures.
Yeah.
Of what they some of the evidence that they're putting out there. Like this dude got that bitch in the bathtub, like the bathroom.
Yeah, I
saw
the bathroom.
Whoever is out there listening to me, crazy. There's a bathroom like you have in your house. That same kind of bathroom. There's a size that same bathroom in Mar-a-Lago somewhere. Right? They might have 1,000 bathrooms. They got one just like the one in your bathroom. Imagine your bathroom with 20. You know those boxes that you get at work.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? The handles. You know what I mean? That you can label with the heavy top. 20 of them around the toilet, and then mind you, they made sure they didn't cover the toilet. You still had access to the toilet.
Yeah.
You can still use the toilet.
You can still go use it. Yeah, bro.
With fucking nuclear secrets, right? Talk about reading material. What the fuck is this?
Yo, imagine you checking into a room at the Mar-a-Lago, right? They're like, hey, yeah, we have a room ready for you. All right, cool. You get into your room.
You on the
like,
phone with them?
Restroom.
Yeah, there's something in my restroom. You should send someone.
It's like
something's wrong with my restroom.
It's like, I'm seeing schematics for an F-15 and nuclear codes. I'm not sure it's supposed to be.
So I understand whoever's on the other end of this line might be busy right now, because I can see that there's a stealth bomber over Japan, apparently. Why? They're an ally, but whatever. Which guys got go. But what the fuck? It's right there.
Like, yo, that's so. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy, bro. That's so crazy.
They had one. They had a picture of one. They found a joint with, again, a bunch of boxes stacked up around it, and one of them somebody must have bumped and fell, and the docs were all over the floor. He was just spilling documents all over the floor.
Bro.
Remember, they found some documents in his desk. At the very first time when they did
I recall that.
When they executed the search warrant. And mind you, by the way, they didn't call it a raid. I don't think they called it a raid at any point, because they used to call it a raid because that's such a bad word.
Buzzword.
They didn't call it a raid. In here.
I think they mentioned. I think it said search warrant in the.
They say search warrant, which is what it was. It was a search warrant. A raid, like we said a long time ago. They kicked down your fucking door.
Yeah, they kick. Yeah, it's completely unannounced.
They ain't kicked nothing down. They over there. They announced them. They say, hey, we're gonna come through. Matter of fact, we're gonna wear our regular clothes. We ain't gonna wear no FBI jackets. You know what I mean? We're gonna make it nice and smooth. And they ain't no fucking raid. Anyways, so those pictures are wild. He's a wild boy, and he did it ultimately fucking. It's all fucking self-inflicted, because he's a fucking dummy.
Yeah,
it's all self-inflicted. Really and he's had multiple opportunities to get away with a crime that he already committed.
That's the thing. That's the thing, bro. Like it was almost like it's almost like he was given an alley-oop. Like he was right at the rim. You know what I'm saying? Like just put the ball in the. To put the ball in the bucket, bro.
Help us help you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, bro,
the country really did not want to do this, dog.
Yeah, facts.
Dog, they really did. The Merrick Garland and all, and they really, come on, like, bro. Naira probably was like, please, my guy, we don't want to do it. This is like history. This is history making. If we go down this rabbit hole, because that rabbit hole is gonna have the first ex-president to be indicted. Off of some jail time shit. He could face a minimum of like a life sentence.
And we know how the U.S.
with all these charges.
And looking at it from like even like a macro perspective, we know how the U.S. feels about its image worldwide.
of being like the freaking shining hill on the. Oh, we don't lock up political people here and kind of shit. You're trying to be like a fucking example in the beacon, because that's gonna be the thing now. Other countries gonna be like, they have corrupt presidents. Clearly, they have one in jail.
Yeah.
And other countries could be like, oh, that Biden in that country locked up a political prisoner. You know what I mean? He should not have locked up his opponent, even though it was right to. It was right to do. But it's like the whole. So Nara was like, we don't want to do this, please.
Yeah.
Begging him all kinds of opportunities. So now he's charged.
Yeah. Now it is. Yeah. It's.
You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So Jeff, tell him what he's won.
So there's quite a few things here, and I'm just gonna run through them real quickly. So hopefully you guys can catch all of them, right?
Yeah, you look it
up. So here's a summary of all the counts, right? And yeah, it's a doozy. It's a doozy, but these are the big ones.
37 federal charges for your boy.
Yeah, but these are the big ones, right? These are the big ones that can help you to just kind of get a gist of it, right? So the first one here, willful retention of national defense information. That's pretty obvious. This charge covering counts 1 through 31. It's a lot of counts that he got. And it applies to Trump and for his alleged storing of 31 documents at Mar-a-Lago. So that's one. So willful retention of national defense information. The second one is conspiracy to obstruct justice. Darwin spoke about that quite a bit, of just his efforts of trying to kind of misdirect the FBI.
Look over there, bro. There's a story about. So this one's conspiracy, right? Conspiracy to obstruct justice. Why it's called conspiracy is because more than one party
is involved
in executing this crime, right? And so it's like having a conversation about it, and then anybody taking one step to carry it out, boom, you got a conspiracy, right? So this body man, he got his body man involved in this joint.
Nauta.
And he was talking to his attorney. He's like, yo, just say, hey, you just say the shit was it's all good. You already saw everything. You searched. It's all good. And he's like, Mr. President, I have to actually conduct a search. And he's like, no, just say you did it. Okay, how about this? Just you move them somewhere else, and then you search it, and you're like, hey, I didn't find anything. Like, no, I can't move anything. That's already, I'm doing a crime with my client, like as an attorney. You can't,
that's obstruction right there. Just trying to move
obstruction, right? Yeah. So I can't be connected to this. He's like, how about this? You go over there, and you could come search over here tomorrow. Just come search tomorrow, all yours, right? Lawyer's like, okay, I'm just gonna go. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll be back tomorrow. And then he gets his body man to be like, yo, dude, move these boxes out of here. I'm gonna have him search here tomorrow. So move these boxes. So now his body man is like moving the shit.
And now
his body man knows what time it is. He knows this is classified shit.
And
he's moving the shit. So now the lawyer can come back and be like, I searched. There was nothing there. So he did his thing. So boom, his lawyer signs off and bounces, right? But they know this shit now, nigga. It doesn't work if you plan it ahead. And then your lawyer's like, yeah, man, this is what we talked about. You fucking dummy. What else we got?
So the next thing we have is withholding a document or record. So essentially, Trump and Nauta, the guy that Darwin was talking about, are accused of misleading one of their attorneys by moving boxes of classified documents, so the attorney could not find or introduce them to the grand jury, which is exactly what Darwin was talking about. But that's the official charge there.
Oh, and the other day, by the way, they just had they drained the pool at Mar-a-Lago for some reason. They drained the pool. Maybe you have to drain the pool because you got to clean it out. Or you gotta, it's the season's over, so it's not pool season anymore. So you want to cover up the pool, so you drain the pool. You know what I mean? Or maybe there was some bacteria in it or something like that. So you got to drain it out. So you clean it out, right? So they drain the pool. Happens every day. It happens to be though that because of draining the pool, the surveillance room got flooded.
What? Yo,
the surveillance room got flooded.
Yo, if
they had all a bunch of who knows what's lost, what footage is lost. Who's to know?
Yo, if this ain't a TV series by the
this
end
is
of
what
this
they
year,
told. They said the reason this is the reason they put out. They said the reason the room flooded because we drained the pool.
Because they drained the pool.
This is what they said. Oops.
Bro.
Oopsie. Whoopsie. What? That's legit, right?
Yo. Like if I'm the FBI, like I would feel highly offended. I'm like, bro, like y'all really think like who do y'all like I would be offended. I would absolutely be offended. Like
but they still got some ride or die motherfuckers that don't care about this shit. What's good? Yeah. Keep it moving. What we got?
So we got so another charge we got here, corruptly concealing a document or record. This pertains to Trump and Nauta's alleged attempts to hide the boxes of classified documents from the attorney, which is what we just discussed here. Another charge is concealing a document in a federal investigation.
So now we got an investigation. In a federal investigation now. We already had the crime or whatever the hell happened already. But as we're trying to investigate, because there's a crime that has happened, you're concealing a document during that investigation.
Yes.
Again, even more time to have turned things over because they executed a search warrant. That was like his third or fourth opportunity to turn the shit in.
Yep.
When we do that, when we execute that search warrant, we're in an investigation. This is how we're able to get a judge to sign off on the search warrant.
Yeah, it's an actual investigation going on. Yeah. Another part of the indictment, scheme to conceal. This is for the allegation that Trump and Nauta hid Trump's continued possession of those materials from the FBI and the grand jury.
Which is just obvious. You know what I mean? Like he did it for the entire year.
Yeah. Like he wasn't providing documents when they were asking for it. He'll give I'll give you a third of it, I'll give you another third. Like, come on, it's another one is false statements and representations. This count concerns statements that Trump allegedly caused another one of his attorneys to make to the FBI and grand jury.
Because they signed off that paper that said all the boxes are.
Yeah, it was a false certificate.
Everything you got, everything. There's nothing left here. Yep.
So, so that was obviously fraudulent there. And the last one would be it's another charge for false statements and representations. It's two of them. Yeah, it's another one where it says this final count accuses Nauta of giving false answers during his guy, his fixer or lawyer or whatever. He was charged with this as well. This final count accuses Nauta of giving false answers during a voluntary interview with the FBI in late May. So he was lying even in a voluntary interview.
Niggas stay because they're not under oath. They could just
they could just say whatever they want to say. Like
Jesus
like you ain't talking to the FBI. This is not just some guy you just talking to. Like this is the FBI here. Like, come on, anything and everything that you say can be used against you, against you in the court of law. Like, come on.
They will nominate him for the Republican ticket from jail.
You think so? You think so? Nah, I think Republicans might low key be.
If that boy wins the primaries and they go to the convention, the Republican National Convention, there's no fucking way they're gonna go up there at the convention and be like, yeah, he might have won all those fucking primary states and caucuses and whatever the fuck they got. But we can't go with him because he's in jail. They ain't gonna do that on that RNC stage. They will nominate him from jail. And I don't think there's I don't think there's a law against holding office. He'd have to be impeached. He'd have to be president.
I mean, he wasn't.
And then he had to be impeached. But like, would he be impeached? Because the House has to vote on that.
Yeah.
And the Republicans run the House.
It's chess, not checkers, man. I'm thinking, could the RNC stoop that low?
They will get to be president, because the thing is, here's the thing, is that they're risking their base.
DeSantis seemed like
they're risking their base not showing up because their base are so locked into Trump. So whoever else they nominate, especially imagine now, we're talking about the end of the primaries.
You don't think that base can fall in line under DeSantis?
Hell no. At the end of the primaries, Jeff, from what we know now about this indictment, you know how much more she's coming out by then? And he still wins? Hypothetically, in this universe where he still wins after all that, we still don't even have the fucking Georgia case out yet. We were trying to tell him, hey, find me 11,000 whatever votes.
Yeah, we was talking. Yeah, it's right. You right about that.
We ain't even have the January 6th fucking shit yet. That's DC.
Yeah. That's gonna be an interesting.
Imagine a year from now. Yeah. Imagine a year from now, this motherfucker still wins all the primary states, the states to like get, and then gets to the convention. By the time it gets to convention, he has won. He has the most delegates, whatever the fuck they count him as over there. Imagine that. And by that time, he probably should be starting to do time for something else. So he probably wouldn't be doing time until 2025 or some shit like that, if any of this goes to the end of that rabbit hole. And again, we already talked about what that doing time would look like in whatever freaking winery they fucking like, they in freaking private island they give him or some shit. But he's be a convicted person. He could be a convicted person running and for that Republican ticket, and they will give it to him. I think they will give it to him. Like if they don't, I'm gonna tell you, if they don't, they're gonna lose the general. If he wins it, with all that support, he wins it. He beats out DeSantis. He beats out, and then you're gonna be like, okay, we know Trump won it, but we're gonna give it to Nikki Haley. You think the base is gonna show up for the general election to vote Nikki Haley versus Biden? Tim Scott versus Biden? After they voted for Trump, they're like, we still want him. And then you say, no, we know better than you. We give you Mike Pence. I know y'all say y'all wanted Trump, but how would you like a Mike Pence? Like, is that you're like, sir, try this Mike Pence. So fucking Mike Pence flying the hair ass nigga on my face. The fuck? Nigga ain't happening. Yo, bro, you bet not let that fool win the primaries.
That's crazy, bro.
They will nominate him again. Straight up,
bro. That's it makes me think about okay, I'll give you this. I'll actually give you this. It actually lends more credence to your argument of people who are essentially above the law. Because to be able to still have that, I'm not sure if I would even call it leverage.
For this nigga still be out in these streets like this.
To still be out just like, well, the fact that he doesn't have a mugshot, number one. He don't have a mugshot.
No mugshot.
And to still be someone who is considered to be like definitely going to be the Republican nominee for that party. That's bro. It does give that argument more life for sure. I'm not gonna lie, because that party. I don't understand that. Yeah,
there's only one party. I could keep saying there's only one party that gives a fuck about this constitutional democracy that we've built.
It's definitely gonna get worse.
There's only one party, sure. and as bad as that one party is, and like as flawed as that one party is, there's still only one party. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a liberal. And I say all the time, I'm liberal as fuck. I identify that as liberal. But I vote for the Democrats because like these Republicans don't give a fuck. They want an autocracy. They want a king. And they've decided on this guy. And you know what? Maybe there's some place. Maybe go ahead.
That's what America separated from though. You said they want a king, but that's what they are. That's what the American Revolution was about.
It's been too long removed. Niggas got comfortable. Niggas got fat. Niggas just got freaking. Life was easy. It's on some Wally shit. We got the capitalism bug, and that shit. We discarded certain communities, whether it's the Native Americans or if it's black people with the exploitation of slavery, or even the Japanese people that were freaking on the West Coast. Or we put these Italians on these buildings if we can let them fall to their deaths when they were building up fucking Wall Street. You know what I mean? Brick by brick kind of shit. Like, bro, like. America was buzzing along because it was just discarding people, and it got comfortable and it got fucking fat on the hog. And now, that work to get us to like as bumpy as that road was, we're talking about Reconstruction, whatever the fuck else really that really happened then, through World War One, World War Two, Jim Crow, the first black president, like it's been progressing in a particular way. That's gotten people like, we're good, and we got them comfortable, and we don't remember that there's still a ton of countries out there in the world that are ruled by dictators.
That's a fact.
That are ruled by a religious leader that is like specifically my religion. I don't give a fuck what you think specifically out there. We got countries out there that are ruled by just like somebody. This Kim Jong-un was just born into the shit. His dad was the king or ruler or president. Well, they call themselves president now. They're not fucking democracy. But he was just born into it, and it just happened that way. You know what I mean? And so this is like a lot of the rest of the world really governs different.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of the world that they have strongmen. And each governor, like we're talking about DeSantis or freaking when Nikki Haley was governor,
there isn't like a separation. There isn't like a separation of church and state.
Fucking shit like that. No, a lot of these other places.
Yeah.
If it's a Muslim country and you're a Christian, you're gonna have a tough time.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You're gonna be able to casually have a mosque here and a Catholic church down the street because you were in Virginia somewhere, which is no problems here. Like over there, hell no. Yeah. You get executed. But like, we got comfortable here, and so we let it get to the point where we even let a guy like him sniff the White House in the first place. George Bush should have been nowhere near the White House. He was a fucking dummy. But he got there. And the country was still some bullshit. A lot of bullshit happened, you know what I mean? But we still survived it. But when you got Sarah Palin that close, being the VP for the Republican Party, you had a whiff of this shit.
Yeah, that was a little scary. I ain't gonna lie.
And then you followed it up.
That's kind of how I feel about AOC, to be honest. I feel like she's very radical.
AOC has not done any level of the damage any Republican in power has ever done.
Because she hasn't had that kind of clout yet.
That's it. Point blank. Period. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Everything else after this is all hypothetical. Yeah, everything else is all hypothetical.
She ain't got that kind of clout yet, so you're right. You're right about that.
But what has tangibly been done to us in this country has been these specific Republicans that have been in power. You could think about all the liberals and what the fuck the potentially could be. It could be hypothetical, all that shit. They
got some wild ideas.
They haven't affected the country negatively the way Republicans have. They not a single one. So then Trump becomes president. We let him actually be in office. And you know what?
That's a surprise.
Because we're America, you know what? We're always failing up. We got him out of office. All right? We fucked up. We had all kinds of, like I said, Jim Crow, World War II, Vietnam. You know what I mean? Donald Trump's first term. We got through all that. COVID. And now they want to bring him back. He should never even sniffed it in the first place. And now they want to bring him back. And and not only want to bring him back, we know what happened during that first term. We are still living the ramifications with these fucking indictments. He's out of office and we're still dealing with this motherfucker. And you want to bring him back. January 6th, and you still want to bring him back. That lets me know what y'all want. Y'all want that January 6th shit to have been successful, and y'all gonna stand guard outside his castle and put Trump in there. That's it. And you know what? The new White House will become, because they will put him in that building. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And they will protect the fuck out of that shit with their life. And let's say it was successful, no one of them got shot. That grip would grow to the actual DC residential areas. And now he owns that DC area with him and his goons. They got all the guns and shit. And then they wanted to grow. Then they're gonna take over some territory. They're gonna take over College Park. Then they're gonna take over. Next thing you know, they are creating a fiefdom, because there's no legitimate new president yet been inaugurated. Even though we're fighting it and we're saying Biden should be the president at that time, we're fighting that shit. Biden's gonna have his goons and Trump's gonna have his goons. We're now the fucking shit that's going on. We read about this story. The 2 freaking generals.
Oh yeah. What country?
In Africa.
In Africa. What country was that? I can't remember the country we just talked about this. Can't remember the country. But I know you're talking about.
And that's that's the end result of that shit. Yeah, it's hypothetical. Granted, it's hypothetical, but we have way more evidence of real life shit that this dude has been a result of to say that, yeah, this is probably where it's going to end up. Way more evidence than some fucking AOC saying some shit on Twitter. Saying some shit on Twitter.
No, that's fair.
This nigga was given a reporter.
He actually held office. This guy actually held office.
He was given the fucking reporter the documents. AOC can never. No tweet. Right. No tweet could ever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah. I don't even know where to go for that. That's just it clearly. You know what's another thing I'm thinking about too is just like, should we have expected anything less though? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a guy who has no experience in public office or public service, for that matter.
Any kind of service.
Any kind of service for that matter. And like, this is basically the hardest job on the planet. Like, did we expect him to, like, I'm not giving an excuse.
Let's get a businessman. That's what they want. Let's get a businessman in there.
Yeah, and that's what I heard a lot. It's like, hey, he can run the country like a business. We're like, well, America is not just a business though.
And then he ran up the most debt of any president in history.
Yeah, the debt ceiling has been increasing. And
during his term, he only had 4 years to do it. People are in office for 2 terms usually. He did it in 4 years.
Yeah. There's been increased spending in Homeland Security, which is always going to be the case.
Yeah, sure. Homeland Security. That boy gave away all kinds of tax subsidies.
He gives a lot of subsidies to corporations.
Money that was supposed to be coming in, you know, to fund the government, which would not have us operating at a deficit, but you know, the debt and all that stuff. But that's your man's running it like a business. Condolences to the to Tina Turner's family. Sure. She recently passed away. I mean, we missed the episode last week, so we should have done this last week. But yeah, man, she freaking legend.
Turner, yeah,
bro, and
it's so weird seeing. It's so weird hearing some of these people die, because it just tells you that, dang, we getting older. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like it's so weird though, because
we're at that age. We're at that age window where, like, you know what I mean, like people, like gonna be people that we like grew up knowing. They were already a little bit old. They were this age, you know. By the time we got to this age, there, you know what I mean. So she was 83. She was 83. So this was March. This was May 24th. She died in Switzerland. Turns out she had been living in Switzerland for like forever now.
Oh, you know wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, shouts out to her for getting the fuck up out of here.
And Switzerland is a really nice area.
She just wanted her peace.
Yeah. Switzerland is a very safe country. Yeah, it's really nice. Healthcare there is excellent. I mean, like, excellent. Like, I know about this. Healthcare there is excellent. Like, yeah, she just wanted to live her life in peace for sure.
Yeah, she didn't want to be around nobody familiar. And I can understand, because this man, if you ever watched her story, man, she went through a lot.
She did.
But she of course they had movies about it. What's love got to do with it? Mm-hmm. You know, there's even this right now actually. So as a vibe recommendation, go check out HBO Max.
Yeah, there's a remake.
Tina Turner. Not. It's a documentary. It's
not a remake. Sorry, documentary. Right.
Yeah, it's a documentary on HBO Max. So definitely recommend checking that out and play. Go find do a Tina Turner playlist and just realize, damn, she fucking bangers. I'll say this much too. She had fucking energy. If you watch her performances,
man, insane.
Energy is unmatched. Like she worked for that shit, and she worked to get up out the mud. She was really down bad. Ike, domestic abuse, and everything, and then had to the only thing she wanted out of that whole thing, she's like, I just want my name. I don't need nothing from this motherfucker. You know what I mean? I just want my name. She got her name because she knew she was capable of. She bet on herself. She's like, give me as long as I keep that name, Tina Turner, because that's not her actual. I don't remember her
maiden name.
Her born name. I don't think Tina.
Okay. I always thought that was her.
Now I gotta look it up because so look it up. Anna Mae Bullock.
Anna Mae Bullock. So it's a
this
whole.
Is what I'm saying. Jamie Foxx's name ain't Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, his name ain't Jamie Foxx. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like people have so but that's the stage persona that she's got. So she had built up a career or built up a follow or just an audience with her work with Ike, because they did make great music together too. You know what I mean? Gotta be honest, right? But she built up a career with that name, and so to be like, we're ending this relationship here, but I need to fucking do something. She left with talking about dollars in her pocket. I think she might have been homeless at a point in time, whatever, right? But she came, and then when she got back in the game, she was 40 years old. So music industry is usually a young person's game. You hop in there young, you know what I mean? And she freaking built a whole nother freaking back end of her career that was even greater than the stuff she put out with Ike. So she's a legend, and pay some respects by streaming some Tina Turner. Get some Tina Turner vibes in your soul there. I definitely recommend what was that album? Not the album, but there's a playlist on YouTube. You go YouTube and you type her name, they play a great playlist for it. It's a mix of stuff.
Okay.
So also in the vibes, I just want to just quickly mention Spider-Man, the movie came out. So that's what I'm recommending here. The movie, Spider-Man, the movie, right? The soundtrack is great. We featured it on the vibes as a short little clip last week. Soundtrack is great. It ain't no damn Little Mermaid bullshit, damn it. This freaking whack ass freaking orchestral shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? No, that shit was banging, man. They had everybody on that joint. You know what I mean? So it's a good long album, and it's fly. I definitely recommend.
I heard the movie was pretty good too.
So basically, good. Get me back on focus because that's what I'm recommending. The movie. The movie's a great movie. I love the first one, and this one is. Yeah, I think this one might be better. This one might be better, and it's a two-parter.
I haven't even seen the first one.
You haven't seen the first one? What up, fam? It's Darwin, the guy that was just talking. First off, thanks for watching and supporting the show. But I got to give y'all some homework. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to interact with the show. That means 1, hitting that like button, because I know you like our stuff. 2, make sure you subscribe, so we can swim our way up your timeline whenever we drop new content. The third thing, please share the channel with your friends. Maybe they'll learn a thing about a thing or two. Oh, last thing, we're over here talking about what y'all talking about. So go ahead and carry that conversation on into the comments. We be up in there too. That first one was one of those animated movies where I feel like could have been nominated for an Oscar.
Really?
I feel like it could have been nominated for an Oscar. Yeah. You're not gonna get that. You're never gonna really see that. You know what I mean? But
yeah, we animated.
I think we talked about that though. I think Toy Story 4, one of the Toy Stories got nominated. So it's rare, right? But I think it was that good. This one is good. It's building off of that Miles Morales universe.
Yeah.
And it says to be continued at the end.
Yeah.
So
sure.
It's a two-parter. Okay. It could be a three-parter. Who knows? But I was thoroughly enjoying. We're gonna go see it again. We're gonna go see it again.
Really?
Yeah, we're gonna see it again. That's right. I mean, if it came out on TV, if it came out on my on screen on the streaming, I'd go see. I see right now. You know what I mean? But no, we're gonna go to the theaters and see it again. Okay. The other thing with the vibes, I want to quickly mention, another artist to appreciate while you still got him is Lil Wayne. All right,
that's my GOAT. I've been vocal about this before. Wayne is my GOAT. I grew up with Wayne. Wayne was my guy since Black is Hot. Like, I literally grew up with this guy, man. And the reason I jumped in so quickly is because I feel like he don't really get his flowers like that. Like Wayne is my guy.
I think he get his flowers. I think his flowers, but he could get more.
I don't know.
He could get more. He could get more. I mean, nobody ever doubts that Nicki and Drake, you know what I mean, came from that factory. You know what I mean?
He birthed them for sure. Like,
so we already know he had like health issues because of epilepsy. You know, it's happened to him on stage. Mm-hmm. He's talked about in interviews how, you know, he didn't believe, at some point he didn't even believe this was really happening to him. Yeah. Where people had to eventually like film him
a lot of denial,
during one of these episodes and to film to like, you know, this is crazy he had this happen to him. But he's always said he's felt kind of like sick sometimes, you know what I mean? Even from a kid. Right? When he was a kid, he never felt all the way completely healthy. And I don't know if that's exactly the epilepsy or maybe it's some other stuff going on. But he's like, man, sometimes stuff would happen. I just wake up in the hospital like, what the fuck happened? Where am I? How did I get here? He doesn't even remember what happened during the seizures, right? And so he's now recent interview, he can't remember his lyrics. Not his lyrics. We can't remember these songs. It didn't go as the article didn't go as I was reading. This is today, today.com. He talks about I wouldn't even know what we're talking about in some of these songs. Mm-hmm. He's like, I would listen to the song, I would hear it, and it's happening, but it's like, I don't remember this song. I remember when it came out. He's like, I don't even know if that's when the Carter 3 came out. He doesn't know the years.
As far as the
years. I mean, that's how much I don't know. He said, adding that he still continues to work every day. And also, I always look at it as the curse part of gift and the curse, basically gift and the curse. I believe that God blessed me with this amazing mind, but not give me an amazing memory to remember this amazing stuff. You know what I mean? That he's done.
So kind of like a crutch for the gift that he has as far as creativity.
But the thing is, I don't know if it's like something that he's always had a bad memory or this memory is getting bad now.
I think that's cap because one of the things that he was known for, actually that could have been a way that he coped with that because he's always been like pretty good at like freestyling.
And like just coming off the dome,
because he can't remember everything, so he just comes off so that could be a way of how he coped with it. So it could be something there. But that's never something he's really been vocal about. Like,
he's never mentioned it before ever.
So that's why it's weird.
I have a bad memory. You know, he's coming out like, especially when we know all these other health issues that he has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know I mean, not to mention all the drug abuse that he's spoken about,
all the codeine and drinking and lean, like just
all the stuff he's talking about. So like exacerbating whatever, popping pills, you know, all the exacerbating all the stuff that he had going on already. Yeah. So you know, I hope he's in a more healthy place these days. He's an OG. He's
40 years old, bro.
He's trans, which is like my age. So
your age,
that old.
He's not old.
But I will testify that I ain't doing all that crazy crap that Wayne was doing back then, and I'm still fucking struggling to get out of bed with my fucking knees where they is, my back.
But that's because but you were an athlete though. I mean, like these things happens to me even now. Like I have like aches and pains because of just playing sports all my life. Like that's just. It is what it is. At 40, you're gonna feel those things.
Okay, well, he had his gauntlet that he went through. So 40,
that's true.
Don't seem that old.
Self-inflicted, really.
Fine, but he's still there.
Yeah, facts.
He's still alive.
That's facts.
So we can still love on him and love the work he puts out. He doesn't always say the right thing when he's in these interviews. I get it. You know what I mean? He said some problematic stuff. You know what I mean? But like we're talking about just music. You know. Wayne is a cultural icon, and
absolutely.
And I hope he is. I hope it's not some like fucking sign of Alzheimer's. You know what I mean? That's just.
That is that possible at that age?
Like, is that early onset shit? Who knows?
Man, that's crazy, man.
Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? With, again, the complications of all the other stuff that he's self-inflicted. Yeah. You know what I mean? Who knows? So, shout outs to Wayne, and every once in a while, I just love randomly throwing a Wayne album on. You know what I mean? It's just like, man, that takes me back. Because when you listen to it, like, it takes you back.
A lot of nostalgia, absolutely. Man, a lot of nostalgia when you listen to Wayne.
For an actual album that I recommend, it's going to be Janelle Monae's album that she just dropped. It's called The Age of Pleasure, and it's a great album. It's gonna be nominated for Album of the Year. But this is Janelle Monae. So
she's been nominated for like 8 Grammys, right?
Everything she puts out is
nominated for 8 Grammys. Yeah,
everything she puts out is always going to be, top notch stuff that's going to be nomination worthy, right? Don't know if she should win it necessarily, but depending on what the rest of the competition has to say, right? But it's definitely going to be nominated. I went through this thing and I checked all the like buttons because I listened to it a couple times. I've listened to it at least like 6 or 7 times already.
The whole album?
The whole album, like 6 or 7 times. Wow. It came out yesterday. I listened to it a couple of times first, and then like the 3rd or 4th time I go through and I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna hit the like button on tracks that I fuck with. And so I went back and I looked, and there's just one track that I'm like, it's still a decent track. A lot of people love it. Matter of fact, she loves it. I heard in an interview she loves this track, but it's just it ain't hitting for me the way the other ones hit. I'm not saying it's a bad track, but bro, even the intermissions, because you know why the intermissions freaking hold up on this one? Because they did that thing that I love so much. And that just
the transition right into the song.
The transition right. You know what? I did some research. There has to be a term for this. This is what I'm saying to myself. There has to be a term for albums that do the freaking seamless transition from song to song for the whole album. And she does this, and it's so beautiful because some of them go into intermissions, and the intermissions just like, it's just like part of the song. Yeah. Like people always skip intermissions. Like I do too. I skip intermissions, but like you made it like part of the song and integrate it like she does here. We'll listen to the intermissions. Yeah. Sometimes you have like guest appearances. Somebody who's an actor or an artist of another artist is like saying something, you know what I mean, on there that could be profound or not, or just like getting shout outs. You know what I mean? But like they will still get album credits for that or something. Like we don't listen to, we skip them, so they don't get the rotation for the intermission. But like the way when it's bleeding the track, it's like, oh, the song is still going. So I don't need to like skip here. So like even intermission, you can listen right straight through. So this is a dope ass album. It's her 4th studio album.
Really? Just 4? Wow.
Yeah, it's 4. But like, I mean, she says she has mixtapes. She talks about how she was pushing tapes out the trunk of her car.
Yeah.
I remember she mentioned like many artists tend to do. So I was looking up this term because I'm trying to think of a, you know what I mean, what does it mean, these albums that like have this transition from song to song? The closest thing I found was there's this term called and matter of fact, they actually use this in the recording industry called a segue. It's just like doing it, a segue from topic to topic. So a segue, it's in music theory, I guess, it's just, for example, you have an orchestra, right? And you have, you go from one movement to the second movement, right? Yes. And so there's a command, I guess, the conductor would give to be like, we're not going to take any pauses, we're not going to take any breaks. We're just going to transition right to this other movement. We're not going to do the lull thing. We're not going to lull it down and just let the violas do a little solo or whatever. So before we get into the next movement, no, we're just going to attack it, right? We're just going to go right into it. And so that's kind of how the term goes when it's called a segue. So the recording industry has kind of adopted this for records. When they put out, where they go that track to track transition, they call it a segue. They call that a segue. But I haven't found a term for like when you do it for an album. So I'm gonna develop. Fuck it. I came up with a term. Did I write this down? I hope I wrote this down. Did I write this down? You see it in there? Fuck.
No,
I write this down. Okay. I think it's
it.
a continuous segue album. There you go. Okay. So from now on, that's a continuous segue album, because the term segue, they only use it because sometimes some albums will have like song 1 and 2 might do a segue, and then maybe like something in the middle might do a segue. Mm-hmm. But for the whole thing, matter of fact, that Justin Timberlake album, the one with well, he does all with Timberlake, but the freaking I'm Bringing Sexy Back, that album with his I'm Bringing Sexy Back, he had it like that, where like 3 or 4 songs did the segue joint, but like other ones did not. They just completely just started over from the top, you know. So but like a continuous segue album is you're talking my language. If you do that for the entire album, you're talking my language. And Janelle Monae does this with, I think she did it with all her studio albums. They have, I think so, but like that's my favorite. So I'm coming with that term. Continuous segue album. So remember that term. Check out Janelle Monae's album. Was it The Age of Pleasure? She talks about how like we talked about earlier, Jeff, we talking about seasons, you know what I mean?
Yeah, seasons, yeah.
And she talks about how, you know, there was a season in her life. There was an age of like struggle. There was an age of confusion. There was an age of anger. There was an age of insecurity. But now she's in this age of pleasure, and she feels like she's really stepping into herself. I'm gonna tell you like this: if you're a person out there and you need to feel good about yourself, and you need some affirmation, this is the affirmation soundtrack. It's the affirmation anthem album that just go on to. So particularly if you're in the marginalized community, so that's whatever marginalization. You could be a woman, you could be Black, you could be LGBTQ, you could be a religious minority, whatever marginalized community you belong to. If you're looking for somebody to like get you to look in that mirror, you know what I mean, and just be like, "You the shit, you fucking got this," kind of thing. This is that album. You listen to it, make it this, and walk around that day like you fucking get all the confidence in the world, fucking conquer the fucking world that you're fucking living in. Straight up, this is what it's for. It's a real motivation album. It's an album for some, if you're trying to love on yourself, be like, I look good. She says this, I look fly. You need these affirmations, you know what I mean? You like, I'm fucking sexy. You know what I mean? Like, she gives all of that. And if you're singing along, you can take ownership of those fucking words and of those lyrics. So shout out to Janelle Monae. I would nominate boom. One thing she said in the interview I saw, free therapy. She says everybody should get free therapy. I'm with that.
She did mention that. Yep.
We have a whack ass healthcare system here where it's all for profit. You know what I mean? If you could pay the dough, you know what I mean? We could see what we could do about it. And for others that could pay even more dough, we can get a second opinion about it. you know? But so yeah, definitely there's never gonna be free therapy. There's no free anything. Not even fucking preventative care. Yeah. Right? They should give everybody freaking gym memberships for free. Gym memberships should be, or at least, you know what they should do? With gym memberships, I should be able to pay with that through my FSA. I'm getting it's a fucking, or my HSA, my health savings account.
Yeah, there is typically like
I'm doing you a favor if I'm taking care of my heart and body. That's insurance you're gonna have to pay later when I'm gonna take sick leave.
There are companies that have relationships with local gyms or gyms around the way where you get like a percentage off or you get like half off a membership. So it's definitely possible for sure. Definitely possible for sure, but it should be like
free therapy would be amazing. Right? And not only free therapy should be amazing, and at the same time, therapists should be compensated like the way teachers should be compensated, which they're undervalued. But so much not free that it's expensive.
Yeah.
For the consumer, even the consumer, it's like
therapy is
so there's that. So now there's that barrier for some of the people that have this extra trauma of poverty. Mm-hmm. They can't even get therapy.
Yeah.
Not saying that they need it the most, but they could sure use some.
It's a barrier that barrier to entry. That barrier to entry is.
I need it, and I'm able to get to it.
Yeah.
So that's a fucking flag that we should raise up. And bro, we could solve domestic violence issues. Not all of them, but some of them. Mm-hmm. We could solve mass shooting. We started off talking about mass shooting.
Yeah.
If people got some therapy,
some sort of counseling or something.
Some sort of counseling. Somebody to be a sounding board of like some sort of mentorship.
Yeah.
So I want to amplify that particular message. She did an interview with Breakfast Club. It's pretty extensive. You could look into it and go comment on their shit if you hear something you don't like or if you want to signal boost it. But that's the vibes.
So, all right, man, we appreciate that. So I hope you guys enjoy the show. Stay safe, guys.
Stay dangerous. All right, bet. All done. Fuck, I'm tired.
It's challenge day.